forgot all the controls. Wait, I probably need my controller, don't I? Where'd my controller go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where did I stick it? I was using it just like 2 days ago. Is it still on my... Where the fuck did my controller go? There's no BGM, just the sound of Hecka lightly panicking. For serious, where did I put my fucking controller? Oh, no, it's not there. Huh? What? Oh, let's at least turn on some BGM. Oh, okay, yeah, you have BGM. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. Found it. Hi, hello, Orion. Hi, hello, Frost. Hi, hello, Adelo. Oh no. Oh no. 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 Shush. It's gonna be shushed. You were part of a password. What? I'm very numbable. I won't say what or where. I'm fascinated. I need to eat this. Other stick. Before it gets spaghetti soggy. I waited until dinner was ready to start stream. Because we were talking about art stuff. There was a very beginner artist who was like, who joined a server that I help run and was like, I know I'm probably gonna be directed to the oh god. I forgot about that. I just want to be over here so it doesn't go to the random stuff. There we go. We can turn off the background music so we have just this thrumming. So it's in character. Yeah, so I help run this server called Grindstone. It is intended as like a take your art grind seriously sort of place. So like people who want to improve their technical skills can do so. Yeah. Like put your nose to the grindstone and actually do the work. It mostly caters to artists who are fairly like decently established. Like they already know how to do art, so they've been doing art, but it also, you know, allows for newer members. If anyone is an artist and wants to join, there is zero pressure. But there's the link. It's a public server. Hello, Glass. Thank you for the sippies. I have a strawberry kiwi beer until I run out of that, and then I'm going to refill my water bottles. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Ah! There's a raid! Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi, hello! Hi, hello! Are you so bad? Hi, hello! Oh god. Oh gosh. I forget that the sound always goes mute whenever I tab out. Hi, hello everybody! How many toes do I have? Well, I have one set of toes per body segment, and in this form I have about 8 body segments, so that's about 16 legs, and then I have about 2 toes per leg, so that's about 32 toes. And my toes do have beans! I'm a beanie boy! For anyone new, feel free to do exclamation point beans! Ah! Sound of toes? I can have more toes if you want. Many toe beans. There's so many toe beans. The beans are toes. It's fantastic. Hi, hello, Isopod. I hope you had a good thing. Okay, wait, let me actually keep up with you guys. Hi, hello, Isopod. Hi, hello, Kyrus, Calico. Hello, it be me. Hello, GB Broatic. Hello, Catsy the Deville. Hello, Looking Spacey. Thank you for the follows, by the way, to Catsy and Gibberotic and get lump suckered. And hello, it be me. Thanks for the follow, and thank you for the follow, Kyrus. Jimmy! Cool. Awesome. Alright, yes, you like toes. I like toes. We like beans. Okay, wait. Mothra, Ginlamp, how many toes? Okay. Am I okay? Yeah. Big. Wait, no, wait, you, because I have it randomly set to be other, there's a random chance. There's a random spawn chance of Lumpsucker or getting dropleted. Lovely to meet y'all, on this fine Monday. I'm never streaming on a Monday. I do Sunday streams, and then I normally just, like, brain empty. But I wanted to read, so we can do some brain empty while I read. I don't know why I decided that this would be a good idea to do with spaghetti in front of me, but, you know, whatever. We're not actually playing Resident Evil 5. We're gonna be reading about Resident Evil 5. So if you expected to see a bug playing Resident Evil 5, you'll have to come back next Sunday. When me and Aku will be doing, RE5 DLC. Oh gosh, okay. You're playing some Minecraft and then someone redeemed your Fashion Factory redeem, so you designed him a cute outfit for his OC. Ooh, that's fun. Also, I need to do me a one of these. This little pad. And also I'm gonna do one of these for the guy that I just mentioned I'm gonna do a collab with. That'll go off in like 30 minutes. But yes! You are streaming just chatting. Wonderful, lovely. Hi, hello everyone. To anyone new here, my name is Heckacenipede. I am a centipede cat VTuber. I do art and video games. You can see the art that I do by looking at me. Hi, hello. I drew my model. You can also look at most of my emotes. I've attributed them properly. So if it's attributed to me, then I drew it. If it's not attributed to me, then someone else drew it because it's attributed to them. You know, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant system. I actually really genuinely love the attribution, the emote attribution. I like the attribution system. It's lovely. It's fantastic. Thank you. I like to think that I'm adorable. I work really hard to be cute. Why are you apologizing for beans? I also like aclupinids here. If you don't know what an aclupinid is, it's your little bread clips that you put on your bread bags. That keep your bread fresh. You throw the beans at me? Yeah. If you can either do, if you don't want to throw beans at me, you can do exclamation point ghosts. And then it'll go woo instead. Do I eat them as a snack? Yes. My keeper does not like it when I eat them as a snack. He tries to keep my terrarium clear of aclupinids, but he'll never find them all. And the more that you pour into my tank, the happier I will get. So, you know, it's great stuff. Yeah, there we go. Aku has been he's a good friend of mine. He is a amalgamation of light VTuber. I call him a glow stick, sometimes a highlighter. He's lovely. He likes to do cool V-Roid outfits, and he finally got a new reference up for his current model, which is lovely. He's been playing through the Ratchet and Clank series, and that's great. I don't know if you heard that chair across the dining room floor. I hope you didn't. I hope that my filters worked the way that they're supposed to. but I felt that chair scrape across the floor in my desk. It did the thing. But yes, so points. Yeah, that'll be Sunday. We'll be coming back and actually playing Resident Evil 5. But I'm gonna read Resident Evil 5 after I have told this epic story. So right before you raided, I was describing this beginner artist. I was explaining why I was late to stream because I scheduled this for 7:30 and I didn't get started until 16 minutes ago at like 8:10. And so I was like making excuses. I was waiting for dinner and I was kind of oh yes, do your dinner, do your food as well, as I'm pointing obligatory any raiders who want to leave. Feel free. If you need to blink your eyeballs, go ahead and do that. Blink as much as you want. If you want some water, if you want some food, if you want to sleep, if you want to go watch another streamer, go knock yourself out. But if you want to stick around, I make animal noises and a lot of other noises. And I'm delighted that you're here. So, anywho, between the art thing and the waiting for food thing, I had to be sassy. So I help run this grindstone art server. It's a place for people who sort of want to take their art a little more seriously, who want to do like fundamentals grinding, who want to get some really targeted help that's really practical and maybe sometimes a little bit blunt or brusque or maybe even a little bit rude, but like straightforward and not wasting anyone's time, which I really like. I think a lot of art spaces turn into hug boxes, and that's great and wonderful. It's just not the most helpful to help people grow. So if you want to grow, Grindstone's a great place for that. And so we'll rededicate your disused grindstone. Yeah, your 600-page sketchbook. Do it. Yeah. I do make good noises. I don't know if I make the best noises, but I certainly make good noises. And I'm proud of that. But yeah, so this person joined. I don't know when they joined. I don't feel like looking up their join date. But they posted in the critique forum, and they're like, so I took this class at my community college, an adult enrichment class is how they described it. So they're not, they have to be older than college age, which is lovely. That's fantastic. Like, people rediscovering that they love art, like, that's fantastic. And they are very clearly a beginner artist. And I'm like, okay. Whenever I approach someone who is very clearly a beginner artist, I ask them a few key questions because it's really relevant to me knowing what you want to draw to know what direction to point you in. If I tell you to grind geometric fundamentals, but you want to draw abstract, like, cool shapes that have good color, like, that's useless. Like, you have to, so I have to ask up front, what are you actually interested in? And it kind of had some, like, wishy-washy enjoyer of art answer, which is fine, that's understandable. That's pretty typical for people who are finding art later in life. And then I asked some follow-up questions. And I just, it's like, when someone is refinding art, it's like, okay, what's the point here? Like, what is your intention here? Because if your intention is just to fuck around and put colors down, Grindstone is a bad place for them, because they need to find themselves a good hug box. They need to go, like, learn how to doodle whatever they see and just have fun with that and not think about any of the art grind. If they, say, want to draw like a specific artist, though, if they want to make stuff that looks like it came out of the Berserk manga, for example, an example that they gave, I need to know that in order to, direct you correctly. regardless of what actual skill level you're at, if I don't know what your goals are, I can't give you any useful advice. I have given this person the advice of finding someone in person. Not so that I don't have to deal with them, but because they seem a little bit, all over the place, and I think having someone actually talk to them, like, voice chat might be sufficient, but I think having someone talk to them and, like, show them examples of stuff, like, works that they could make, techniques that they could employ, materials that they could work with, like, giving them that sort of hands-on experience will be very good for them. So, I had to figure out where that was going before I could start stream, of course, and now that I have, I can finish yapping about this and actually read something to you guys. So, all that yap aside, I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a good day. Did I have a good day? I think I had a good day. I had a decent day. I had an interesting day. Cathartic day, I think. Talked about some touchy subjects. About self-righteousness. Talked about don't be an asshole if you want to change people's minds. Which is mind-blowing for some people. Because they don't think about it, because they don't actually want to change minds. But they don't think about they don't want to change minds. It's an unfortunate little cycle that they get themselves in. And, yeah, I got to do some chit-chatting. I did a little nip-napping. I got home from work, I laid down, and I sort of, like, chilled for a bit. Did I read anything? No, I think I just browsed Tumblr. Yeah, okay, cool. Any raiders that are still here have been fully filtered to the app. So, we're going through this today. I hope you enjoy Resident Evil Library BGM, because we're gonna look at them. Oh, yes, and also, to anyone who might think that they want to stick around, we have a button to press. It's a pressable button. That's it. It keeps track of how many times you personally have pressed the button, and you can check your count by doing !button. So if you've never pressed it, it'll say that you've pressed it 0 times. If you've pressed it 25 times like Angie, my lovely mod who needs to leave, it'll say 25. I forgot how that sentence started, so I don't know how I ended it. But yes. Thank you for your button press. That's why, like, that's the beauty of the button press, is that you don't have to stay. You can just come in, you can just press the button, and then you can just fuck off. It's wonderful. Yeah, it costs 1 acclupanid, shoved gently into my moss, and it's wonderful. In the channel redeems. It's a little channel redeem. Yes, good job. Excellent. You made banana. I saw those, Ginger. I want them. Please put all of those chocolate banana cookies into my mouth right now. Right now. I need them, like, burning. They remind me of, like, chocolate banana muffins, which I really want. No, what is it that's banana flavored bread that I like a lot? What the hell was that? It was good. I don't remember. What you should wish. Yes. Yes. I desire the choco muffins. I have a hair. I think it's a cat hair in my. Yeah, that feels light and fluffy enough. Scarface, why are you shedding in my spaghetti? It's not shed-getty, it's spaghetti. You're supposed to have a spa day in it. She's not looking at me. She's looking out her window. Oh, yes. Yeah. History of Resident Evil. 44 pages! I don't know why I'm feeling so self-conscious now. Like, I know that this is a good idea, but boy howdy. 1960. engineer Michael Warren begins the electrification of Raccoon City. The fifth head of the Ashford family, Edward Ashford, begins his research into what would later become known as the progenitor virus. 1962. Oswell E. Spencer enlists architect George Trevor to design and construct a reclusive mansion on the outskirts of Raccoon City. 1966. December. Oswell E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Edward Ashford officially established the progenitor virus, which reconstitutes a living organism's DNA. 1967. November, approximately a year later. The construction of the mansion and lab facilities in the RE5 Mountains is completed. Jessica and Lisa Trevor are injected with a variant of the progenitor virus. The virus fails to establish itself in Jessica, and she is subsequently disposed of. The virus shows promise in Lisa, and as a result, she is placed under close observation.
That means they killed Jessica!
George Trevor is chosen to be a test subject, however, due to his intimate knowledge of the mansion facility, he is disposed of instead.
They also killed George!
1968. Construction of Raccoon City's public transit trolleys begins in Europe, and they are quickly put into use within the city. Spencer founds the pharmaceutical company Umbrella with Marcus and Edward Ashford. The company is established to mask their biological research. July. Edward Ashford contracts the progenitor virus and dies. Oh no. His son, Alexander Ashford, succeeds him as head of the Ashford family. August. The Umbrella training facility is established in the RE5 Mountains with Marcus appointed as director. 1969, February. Alexander Ashford begins to design a facility in Antarctica. He secretly makes plans to build an underground laboratory for the purpose of the Code Veronica project. November. Umbrella's Antarctic base and research facilities are completed. The cookies were easy to make. Yes. Yes, excellent. 1971. The Code Veronica project is successful. The twins, Alfred and Alexia Ashford, are born. Are those two things related to each other? I don't know what Code Veronica is. I'm also going to eat a bite of spaghetti. And protect my W2 from my spaghetti sauce. There. 1977. Albert Wesker and William Birkin joined the training facility as prospective managers. Woo. 1978. January. Marcus successfully develops the T-virus. In July. The closure of the training facility is finalized. Wesker and Birkin transfer their T-virus research to the RE5 research facility. Marcus continues his own research in the closed-down training facility. 1981, July. Although only 10 years old, Alexia Ashford graduates at the top of her class from a prestigious university. Birkin begins to view Alexia as a rival. 1982. Alexia injects her father Alexander with the T. Veronica virus, but the experiment ends in failure. So Veronica was in another game? I imagine so. 1983, December. I imagine that most of these library files are relevant, are plot things from another game. This is hella spoilers for other games, but also whatever. But we do have shaky cheese on this. Wesker researches secondary exposure to the T-virus. He begins to have reservations about Spencer's plans. Alexia injects herself with the T. Veronica virus and enters a 15-year cryogenic sleep. To maintain the secrecy of this plan, it is reported that she died of accidental exposure to the virus. There's too many games for them to be interesting or relevant. Yeah. But I like reading. 1987. Michael Warren becomes mayor of Raccoon City. 1988. Wesker, under orders from Spencer, assassinates Marcus. Under Birkin's guidance, the T-Virus program begins development of the BOW Tyrant. Oh yeah, Mr. Not Mr. Z. What the fuck is his name? He's my handler in Monster Hunter World. Mr. X! I might... Depending on how quickly I read everything, I might boot up Monster Hunter World just to inflict that on y'all. It's beautiful. I love Capcom. Umbrella begins work on the Nemesis project at its 6th European research facility. 1991. Umbrella begins construction of an expansive underground laboratory beneath Raccoon City. Spencer approves Birkin's G-Virus project and work begins on it. Wesker is transferred to the information department. The info department? He's a desk jockey? 1992. Umbrella contributes funds for the refurbishment of City Hall and the building of the General Hospital. A statue of Michael Warren is erected in City Hall. Erected. Yeah. I gotta do something real quick. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to... They better, I don't care if it's Mr. X specifically, but, like, they better have an actually silly handler outfit. I need it. I will spend another $3 on it. I don't care. 1993. Raccoon City Police Chief Brian Irons begins conducting negotiations with Umbrella. Birkin transfers to the underground lab in Raccoon City. Clandestine meetings. Oh my god. Clandestine meetings with Irons begin. Alfred Ashford graduates from a university in England and becomes director of the Antarctic facility. He rises up the ranks to eventually become an executive Umbrella and then director of Rockford Island. In December, a training facility for anti-BOW squad members is completed. 1994, John from the Chicago lab takes over for Birkin at the Arclay Research Facility. Alfred builds a private mansion and prison on Rockford Island. 1996, Raccoon City Police Department STARS team is founded with Wesker as captain. Hunk, later of the Umbrella Special Forces, undergoes combat training at Rockford Island. I like how they don't explain that. Like, they don't... Like, that's just the name. Hunk. I hope everyone on Hunk is, you know, hunky. I deserve it. 1998. May. Raccoon City. Oh, yeah! Speaking of goon, folks that are here from Iron Isopod might be interested in lewd bug things. If you are, and folks who are here for me might be interested in lewd bug things, my Discord server has gotten an upgrade. There are now, there's Skycord, which is a blue sky auto poster. It currently allows up to 20 different feeds, like different accounts. And I currently have it trained on 2. My own main account, as well as my newly made, my newly made After Dark account. You did, Jinja, I'm sorry. Tragically, she raided into me, which means if you weren't in the raid, it was a Minecraft stream. Pat, I understand your dismay. Anyway, what a world. Yeah. But yeah, so Skycord exists now, and it is posting all of my posts and my reposts to my Discord server. My regular account posts and reposts are going to my main post channel, and then all the spicy stuff is going into, you know, the spicy hole. So, you know, I'm quarantining stuff appropriately, so you don't have to look at it if you don't want it. You need to opt in to the spicy stuff. You need to also be 18 plus, but people should be 18 plus anyway when they're here. Looking at you, random 17-year-old lurker. Yes, that includes you too. Your parents might be assholes. I also love the spicy hole, and I feel like there was a lot of— oh my goodness! Anadome! What the heck? Resubbing for 15 whole months! What the hell, dude? thank you so much. I hope you are having a wonderful night. And keep enjoying the emotes. You've enjoyed the emotes for quite some time. You need to make it spicy? Yes. This is true. This is accurate. You don't need to, like, theoretically, Blue Sky is well enough, like, made that everyone, thank you for the sippies. If everyone was tagging their stuff appropriately, and everyone else had that filtered appropriately, then you would never see the not safe for work content that you're not interested in, and you'd at least have warnings and shit. Like, you wouldn't be able to have porn plaster all over your page. Unfortunately, well, I mean that on your side as well. Where, like, theoretically, you would be able to post whatever not safe for work stuff you want to your own account, and you just tag it properly and everyone else has it filtered properly, and then everything's fine. But, like, my whole problem with it is that on my Goon account, I want to be able to have basically everything unfiltered. Like, I don't want any warnings to show up for not safe for work posts. But I also don't know which posts have a filter on them, because some people refuse to put filters on their own posts. So, like, it's frustrating because I want to be able to look at horny shit freely, but the only way that I can know if it's safe for reposting is if I have a filter on. And so, like, basically it just takes me out of it a little bit, and I can't Goon as well. So I went ahead and made a secondary account, and now it works wonderfully, because I can just spam it on there, and then if I feel like it, I can go back through with my main account and report them there for not tagging their stuff. Because honestly, like, Blue Sky, there's a gore artist that I follow, Slapjockey. He makes this absolutely wonderful, surreal art, that's, like, really visceral and gutsy. Enjoy a button press, Kikomomo. It's real nasty stuff. Parentheses fond. But, like, it's also stuff that gets censored a lot. And I empathize with him in that it sucks to have your work censored. It sucks that people joining Blue Sky for his art have to go in and change their adult settings before they can look at any of his stuff. But also, he wasn't tagging any of his stuff, and Blue Sky's tag system is user enforced. So, like, buddy, your art is sensitive material. I don't care how frustrated that makes you. It's not being puritanical to put a warning label. Like, it's not puritanical to put a warning label on something that has peanuts in it. It's a common allergen. Like, come on. Centipede Faces one is the other happy place. And yeah, no, Slapjockey is, he does have at least one or two centipede pieces, but his stuff is, like, slashy. He does a lot of dogs and, like, random bits of meat, and, like, it's like you slashed across something, and it sort of, like you slashed across reality in a gory kind of way. It's really cool. I love his work. But also, his work, strictly speaking, is gross. It is graphic. It is, like, it should have a warning label on it. Like, I'm sorry that your shit, like, he was complaining about, like, oh, Blue Sky is the most puritanical platform I've ever been on, and it's like, dude, like, educate your, like, desired followers. Yeah, it's really intense stuff. It's stuff that I want people to be able to opt into. And, like, it sucks in some ways that this professional artist got his whole account labeled the same way that like a porn like an OnlyFans person has, but like also suck it up. This is the content that you want to make. It's graphic. Like, come on, man. A note that, of course, I will be rebiscuiting, whatever the fuck you want to call it, his content to my After Dark. So if you follow, if you're in my server to see what shit I'm gooning to, we might end up separating it out into its own mutable channel. I don't know. But like having it at least like behind barriers, or like when it's on a public space, like have it behind barriers. It's not gonna be under a spoiler tag in my Discord server when I reblog it. I'm just gonna use the fucking Tumblr term because I'm a Tumblr poisoned addict. But like that's something that y'all are getting to opt into. You guys get to see what kind of shit I'm into. I'm not shy about it. I might need to be shy about it, but there's only a few things that I'm shy about. And it ain't the gore and furries, that's for sure. I enjoy Guro, it's nice. It's cathartic. It makes my brain go whee! Speaking of Guro, I finally looked over at the screen that's been up. 1998, May, a mysterious clone of Marcus's appears at the Umbrella training facility. There's a large-scale viral leak at the Arclay mansion. The research lab there is destroyed. Cerberus claims its first victim, a 20-year-old woman whose body is found dismembered. Oh my. What a fantastic segue, right? It still weirds me out that the correct spelling of segue, like the electrical thing, is what you just wrote there. But the actual written word segue, like to segue into a thing, it's the word spelled S-E-G-U-E, which in my brain I always read as like segue, and I figured it out from context, but then like I must have heard someone like reading it out or some shit. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. C'est quoi en français? Like, it's a fucked up word. I don't like it. I don't like segue. It's a gross word. It's a good word. It's a good word to use. Hyperbole. I used to say it. Hyperbole. Oh boy. Yeah. Hyperbole is like really Latin, so I cannot blame you. Apparently, children, was a similar bastardization where one of the languages that was combined had the plural of child was childer, but then the plural for another language was to add en, like oxen. So we just did childer n, children. Like, anyone who wants to say that your language is pure or whatever, like, one, they're an asshole. And two, like, pure language is just imperfect language with time, that's allowed it to forget. This is relevant. I saw a post that was talking about, AAVE, and how apparently in AAVE, sometimes people will pluralize, it's not childer or children or children, it's children's, which is, you know, it's just another stage of adding. It's functionally like, linguistically, it's like saying child's. I love etymology. I love it so much. It's so fucking stupid. It's fantastic. In June, Cerberus sightings are reported in a local Raccoon City magazine. The great looter of European linguistic attribute. Yeah, it's like English took a whole bunch of other languages and beat them up in a back alley and took the parts that they liked. And then they also got beat up in return in that back alley. and the parts were taken that those languages liked, and then repeating it and stuff. Like when people make fun of AAVE for saying axe instead of ass, but then they'll say prescription instead of prescription. Oh, prescription. Oh no! Prescription. Oh no, I'm one of them! Oh my god! Prescription. No, I definitely am a prescription guy. Whoops. Yeah, no, I definitely, like, I have mad respect for AAVE. I know that I have assimilated some AAVE into my, like, language, both living in the South and also living on the internet, because both areas have a lot of it. And I try to, one of them too, fuck, right? It's fucked hearing it out loud. What made it's just a natural thing to swap syllable. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, axe versus ask. Yeah. Yeah, and some of it, yeah. Yeah, no, I love... Where's my brain? My brain was gone before I started sipping on this cider, and then it's continued to not be there. But, like... Man, my main caution, like, the internal thing that I try to check myself on is that sometimes we try to put on certain accents for comedy and for a certain comedic effect. The really obvious example is the Southern American or the Appalachian accents being used to indicate that someone's stupid. AAVE has been used for all sorts of racist reasons, and, like, I try to be aware that if I'm using AAVE at all, I need to make sure that I'm using it in my regular language as well. And not just for comedic effect. That's probably a super white thing to say, but, like, sorry, I'm a bug on the internet. I'm gonna think about this stuff and make sure that I'm not being an asshole about it. Because I want to be a language appreciator, not a language appropriator. You know? Like, there's some things that you just cannot convey the same way without having a certain combination of twang and slang in your voice. What's really funny, though, is that, I've noticed that if I get particularly passionate about certain things, right now, I would say I'm in my, like, default accent, which is Washingtonian with a sprinkle of the South. Because I've lived here for over a decade now, and Jesus, I've lived here so long. Like, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so, like, my accent is a lack of accent to most ears. It's still an accent. It comes out when I say bone, and I, like, curl my fucking tongue around the O. Bone. Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. I can't. I'm mad that I still hear it. But, like, living down here, I've found accidentally the Southern twang creeping into my voice. If I'm trying to explain something really, if I'm, like, lightly upset over something that I'm trying to explain, like frustrated, that's what it is. If I get frustrated about trying to explain something. Oh yeah, frustrated's another one where some people will say frustrated instead of fr. I'm suddenly getting flashbacks to first grade, where I had a teacher whose personal pet peeve was people saying February. She insisted that we say February, that we did not drop the R. And now my default is February, unless I'm thinking about her. That funny shaped Y is actually a version of TH. So the old pub is just the old pub. We stopped using it because of the printing press. Yeah, that tracks. I say February. I'm writing it ever again. Yeah. I remember every time I write Wednesday, I think Wednesday. And the word frustrating. The entire of the tongue and teeth to demonstrate the meaning of the word. Yeah. Been good. Yes. Have good sleepies, Halo. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, linguistic drift is fun. Most state in the Asiatic steppe. I'm fascinated by what happened to them before it was gone. Yeah. There's a lot of really cool, like, brief societies. A pleasure. Me? Ooh! Apparently recently. Nice. I mean, when like, the default pronunciation for Wednesday is, like, Wensday. Like, the wedness does not, it doesn't come in. Wedness does, you say Wednesday. Wensday. Maybe even Whensday. I always say out loud Wednesday. NES Day, because I always think of Zelda. No, I fuck with that. That's like, me remembering that, God, the mnemonic device that I had, this is a complete tangent, but the mnemonic device that I had for remembering that the capital of West Virginia is Charleston, I think? The state capital? That sounds right. Is because at the time I was in a roleplay group where everyone was like, it was a supernatural school of dark magic, and so everyone was like a supernatural creature. And one of the classmates that I was there with was the personification of an old prison, and her name was West. And Charles sounded like the name of someone who would have been kept at her prison. Which is just really dumb. Like, it's an exceptionally silly way to remember something, but it still fucking works, I think. Let me fact check that. Let me make sure. Let's see, West Virginia State Capital. Charleston, yes, I was correct. Town of Charles. Yeah, whatever works. Like, mnemonics can be fucking madness. So, you know. Good shit. Alright. July. 2 groups are sent to investigate the training facility. The first one is wiped out by BOWs located on the premises. There's an increase in reports of accidents and missing persons in the RE5 Mountains. The city sends the STARS Bravo team to investigate. Bravo team's helicopter experiences engine trouble for unknown reasons and is forced to put down in the RE5 Mountain. Bravo team takes the Ecliptic Express to investigate the training facility, which is later destroyed. Alpha team is sent out to search for Bravo team when communication is lost. The occurrence of the mansion incident. Bravo team... Wait. The occurrence of the mansion incident. Bravo team leader Enrico Marini learns Wesker's true identity. Wesker murders Enrico. It's so clinical! Ravaged by the virus, the mansion and the lab are destroyed. 4 members of Alpha Team and 1 member of Bravo Team escaped the catastrophe. A catastrophe. Survivors: Chris Vedfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, Brad Vickers, Rebecca Chambers. Wesker escapes the Arclay research facility before it is destroyed. August. Oh. Former STARS member Chris Redfield learns of the G-Virus and heads to Europe to investigate Umbrella. September. The virus spreads throughout Raccoon City via infected mice. The city is declared a biohazard as incidents of cannibalism continue to rise. Birkin completes work on the G-Virus. A zombie horde attacks the city's police station. I like that they just call them zombies. I appreciate that. The police station is destroyed, and Chief Irons descends into mania. Warren escapes the city but leaves his daughter behind. Asshole. UBCS, Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, arrives in the city to begin rescue operations. Rookie police officer Leon S. Kennedy arrives in the city at the same time as Claire Redfield. Umbrella deploys the BOW nemesis T-Type into the city, and it begins its hunt for former STARS member Jill Valentine. Umbrella deploys mass-produced tyrants into the city. Leon and Claire escape the city with William and Annette Birkin's daughter, Sherry. With the arrival of the US military, the city is placed under martial law. UBCS survivors are exploited by Umbrella's official observer of the situation, Nikolai Zhinovev, and they die off one by one. The hospital is destroyed. Everybody's favorite boy, Leon! I think you mean everyone's favorite boy toy? They are. They're slutting that boy up. Not everyone's favorite? Okay, fair enough. He's good to make slutty. He's a good template for sluttiness. I just enjoy people, like, giving him tramp stamps and shit. Not gonna lie. You've seen the Tumblr gif. Which one? Oh no. You died. Wanna restart? Wait, no. You guys deserve. You guys deserve. Where here? Oh no, you died. God damn it. Wanna restart. No! Restart. There we go. Enjoy wound tattoos. Let me. Oh no. God damn it. Game over. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay. Here. No! Wait. Download video. No! Fuck you! Alright, fine. You guys just get this. Otherwise, oh, okay, that's a different one than what I remember. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the screen. But if you don't want to look at it on screen, I won't make you. There. And then, internet. We will make sure that it's the correct window. There we go. Here we go. We crop. We crop. We crop. And then we make big. You put him between Cloud as a boy toy. I'll allow it. Crop. There we go. There we go. Alright.
Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart. 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 Would you like to restart?
Would you like to restart?
Game over. I died.
I died.
Restart. 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 Would you like to restart? Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart. 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 Would you like to restart? Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart.
Oh god.
Restart. 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 Would you like to restart?
Would you like to restart? God, it's awful. It's awful. It cracks me up all the time. It's so bad. I should just loop that during the fucking ads. Pornhub ad. Yeah. Someone mod that into the game. My favorite part is the little bit where he's like, "Oh no, God, fuck! No, you got to see my stuff." No, I don't want that. Oh no, I'm so private. Oh no.
Oh no. Restart.
Here we go.
Restart. Restart. Restart.
I kinda-
Would you like to restart?
I'm just gonna. Yeah, here we go.
Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart.
No,
Restart.
making you
Restart.
guys listen to
Restart.
this
Would you like
for
to
3
restart?
minutes is cruel.
Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart. 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 Would you like to restart?
This part is my favorite because he's fucking kicking his feet with the goddamn bear trap on his foot. Like, it's right the fuck there. It's amazing. Oh god, it's so stupid. It's so goddamn stupid. You downloaded the video? Hell yeah. I don't know, feel free to put it in, like, the games channel, I guess. Alright. Alright. Hey, hello! Yes! Yes, you get it, Katsu! You get it! Wait. I gotta do it again. I gotta do it. I gotta do it for IRS. It's Games and Media. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you for the bits. There we go. My Dance Emote. Hey, hey, IRS. Game over.
I died. Oh no. Restart. 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 Would you like to restart?
Would you like to restart? Restart? No, it's fucking perfect. You don't need anything else in life. You don't need a goddamn other thing. You don't even need to worry. Don't worry about a thing. Oh god. I'm looking at the spicy channel while putting the video in Discord. Yeah, I have a good spicy channel. Probably shouldn't show it on screen. I'll look at it on my phone. Oh, thank God. Oh, God. Beautiful. Aggressive. Oh! Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, the fucking waving gif. Where you can just barely make out the base of its shaft. That's a penis. Ooh, ooh. It is. So voicey. Beautiful. Beautiful, wonderful. Excellent, fantastic. Can we get a new— oh no. You find on your dash the end gif is necessary as reaction? Yes, exactly. No, that's exactly how I reacted. Do you wanna— oh no, you died. Can I get— okay. Yes, with one caveat. I need it to be, I need it to be like a shortened clip of it. It can't be the whole thing. Unless I make it for like bits over on sound alerts. Fucking. If it's a regular redeem, it has to be like, oh no, you died. Which is like torture if we're doing something like fucking Messenger or Hyper Light Drifter where you die constantly. Let's see what I can do. Oh no, restart. Do you want to restart? No, God, I was hanging out with Aku, and that came across his fucking Twitter, or it was like something like he'd seen before or some shit. We were dying laughing for like a good solid 20 minutes. It was beautiful. I think the only other thing that got us that bad was fucking Plin Plin Plon. Which is also so tempting. Oh god, I should have taken that ad break for a piss break. Fuck. I guess I'll hold it for another hour. No, I'm not gonna hold it for another hour. I'm gonna eat more of my spaghetti and then I'm gonna go piss. Because I don't want my cat eating my spaghetti. I don't know where she went. Oh, she's up in her tree. That's where she is. Time for your first edit job? I believe in you, Ginger. You got this. Oh no. You died. Oh god, it's... Alternatively, we make it a new me make a noise redeem. I don't think it'll work. I don't know if I'll be Jill Valentine as Aerith from Final Fantasy VII in leather pants and a jacket. Yes. Yes. How long can the clip be? Let's say less than 10 seconds. I think 10 seconds would be a really long clip. Like, it's wild, like, how short and long 5 seconds can be, auditorily. Squint. Let me actually look at, sound alerts. Let me see what length my clips are. Yeah. Continue. Okay. Does it say library? Library? Favorites? Oh, right. I did all of those. I have scary clips, like sound alert clips. Just chilling. Just chilling there. Do I have some? No. Where's the hell is my upload? Do I have? Look at me is 1 second. O'Reilly is 6 seconds. Who up? Making the worms go wheat and yolk is 20 seconds. Yeah, so like we'll say 10. All right, here we go. Wait, no, fuck. I need my OBS up so that I can see what you're doing to me. Eat a Wong and Hunk each acquire samples of the G virus. The underground lab in Raccoon City is destroyed. I need to eat some more bites of spaghetti as I make horrible noises with my fork. You guys are lovely, by the way. Thank you for letting me be a horrible food eater on stream. I don't like eating on stream. Like I used to never eat on stream. Or like I felt really bad about eating on stream. 8 seconds, perfect. Excellent. Yeah. I'm downloading this. Sent. Over here, probably. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. What the hell, audio file? Or what the hell kind of... Open link? I died. Oh no, I died. .mob. Okay, you're doing this from an iPhone. No, it's fine. It just didn't give me a fucking file type, like extension thing. Let's see. I gotta go over to silly vids. And then do a new media sort. Let's see if a .mov will exist. Oh no, I died. And then I put it in here. And it looks like that cannot open a .mov. Oh no, there it is. Never mind. I don't know my alphabet.
Game over. I died. Oh no, restart. Game over. I died. Oh no, restart.
We'll now get to perfectly place it.
Game over. I died. Oh no, restart.
This spacing? Yes. Good job, Ginger. Thank you. And I also need to make sure audio settings But, oh no, I died that I can hear it as well. And then I have to make sure that it's not too loud. I have any? Oh, I don't actually have any. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait. Alright. I just apply it to that whole scene, though. Oh, there we go. Filters. Okay. Yeah, then I don't actually have to pay attention to how loud my things are if I put on a limiter. Oh, wait, no. Can I not do effect filters? But not. Oh, no, I can't do audio filters? What? That's ridiculous. Ugh. Okay. Never mind. Studio mode.
Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart.
Restart. Oh, close. And then Leon, my beloved. Hey there, Glass. I'm gonna do this. There we go. What did I come back to? Also, hello, Wins. Hi, hello. We're making sure that my things are all set properly. Wait, let me always come back to something weird. Always. There's black. Okay. Okay. You don't. Okay, you're being stinky. Okay, noted. You always come into something weird. That's not inaccurate. Remove. Yes, and then paste. Yes. Just another one. Just throwing another one at y'all.
Game over. I died. Oh no. Restart.
Died. Restart. I don't know quite yet what I want to do that with, but it is now in my OBS to show up at opportune moments. Not find the. Okay, nice. But yes, we are. Hi, hello, Winds. We are reading Resident Evil 5 lore. Because I wanted to read this and Aku was about to kill me if I had done that on our collab stream. But he can't stop me on solo streams. So, yeah. Stinky thought day. You be nice. Those thoughts are bathing as much as they can. That was a bad one. Ugh, okay. Alright, so Underground Lab. October, the US government decides to eliminate the virus threat by destroying Raccoon City with a missile strike. Quite dramatic. December. Claire infiltrates the Paris laboratory only to be captured and imprisoned on Rockford Island. Wesker attacks the island with his own private force and releases the T-virus onto the island. Claire escapes from the prison and sends an email to Leon asking for help. Leon! Her location is made known to Chris. Chris! Jill escapes Raccoon City and goes to Chris's apartment, but he has already left for Rockford Island. Alfred Ashford escapes the island. Chris arrives at Rockford Island and finds Wesker. Alexia Ashford wakes up from her cryogenic sleep at the Antarctic base. Alfred dies shortly after. Well, that sucks. Claire and Chris are reunited at the Antarctic base, and together they defeat Alexia. They escape before the base is destroyed. 2002. Jack Krauser fakes his own death and joins Wesker's secret organization. 2003 February. Chris and Jill take part in the mission to destroy the Umbrella Caucasus research facility in Russia. They were successful in destroying a new BOW known as Talos. Talos. Poor Alexa, she never survived Wesker. Yeah. 2004. The US president's daughter, Ashley Graham, is kidnapped by the religious group known as Los Illuminados. The actual kidnapping was carried out by Krauser. Leon Kennedy was scheduled to join Ashley's Secret Service detail, but is ordered to find her instead. Leon Kennedy is injected with the Las Plagas parasite by the Los Illuminados. After that, he and Ashley, who is also infected with the same parasite, take shelter in a church. After escaping the village, Leon and Ashley are forced to seek refuge in an old castle, but Ashley is once again apprehended. This time, she's taken to an isolated island by Krauser under the orders of Ramon Salazar, the 8th head of the Salazar family. Leon confronts Salazar and defeats him. Leon heads to the island to find Ashley, and it is there that he defeats both Jack Krauser and Osmond Sadler, the leader of the Los Illuminados cult. Leon and Ashley use the facility on the island to remove the parasites. Ada Wong steals the Las Plagas parasite samples from Leon. Leon and Ashley escape from the island by jet ski. I look hungry. What are you? What? Yeah, okay. That's fair. Thank you. Number 02, BSAA. Whew. How you doing, by the way? I'm gonna take another bite or two of my spaghetti. The spaghetti is real tasty. Empty spaghetti. I like spaghetti with the shaky cheese. I like spaghetti with like a medium amount of sauce and big amounts of shaky cheese. Alright, have good, Orion. La 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 la. Oh, yes, I like the shaky cheese. It's not shaky cheese. This was grated cheese. It's pretty great. But it is the grated version of the shaky cheese. Because my brother-in-law cares about giving us high-quality ingredients. Ugh. My mouth was full of nudes. I had to reposition the nudes. Oh no, Pepper. You clicked it too quickly. Let me fix that. Ugh. Dream talk. Bug. Counters? Oh, this wasn't full of dudes. Yeah. Shepherd. Where is Shepherd in this list? It's not alphabetical. It's not alphabetical. You just get added to the bottom. There we go. 15. Save. Close. There you go. Now you should be able to exclamation point button and it'll be correct. I really like that stick bug emote. It's good. I wish I was leggier so I could make a stick bug. As it is, I only have my bounce. Which I need to figure out if I want to replace any of my animated emotes with the bounce. Your button is religiously pressed. It's a good button! It's a good button pressing! Get heckin' stick bugged? Yes. I will. You too have clicked the button. God! It's a most satisfying button. It's such a stupid little thing that I added, but I love it. I love it so much. I am reminded I can draw myself however I want, but I don't want to draw myself that far off model. Like, I guess I could. I could do it, Ima does. Ima Globin does, like, little stick legs. Food for thought. But I also, like, I have my bounce. It's the same energy. It's the bounce energy. But I need to not... Blink. 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 Bug redeem? What's the stick bug redeem? Oh my god, it would be so funny. Okay, wait, it would be so funny if I did a really, really rare chance for the bug redeem to just pop up a stick bug video. Whatever you do, don't panic. There isn't a 0% chance that I've been thinking how to draw you all day. Megan, they wormed out waiting you. It's Ginger. Oh god. I've not seen the stick bug bean. I've seen, I know the stick bug bean, but like what does Mari's stick bug do? Does it stretch its beans? No? You should though. You should stretch your beans. The beans should get a stretching. Oh my god. It's like one of those. It's one of those like goofy little things. Okay, BSAA was this section. Following the annihilation of Raccoon City, Umbrella was hit hard with pops up on screen and dances. Lovely. Yes. I shall ponder this. Feel free to add this to the suggestions forum. Thread forum. The fuck is a weevil? A weevil is a bug. And also, a type of weevil is the last word in most English dictionaries is ziziva. It's a genus. They're a snoot beetle. You must see it here. I have a good clip. I have a good hecka clip that shows what a weevil is. Beetle. Right. Beetle. Snout beetle live react. Here we go. Share, copy link. It's even got my old shit paste send. There you go. They're so good. There's so many different kinds of weevil. This is just one kind of weevil. But y'all deserve to behold the snout beetle clip. I love that clip. While you watch that clip, I'm going to eat another bite or two of spaghetti with Dan. Ecuadorian bug, yeah. You finally finished mapping of Fruit Fly's brain? Nice. Alright. No, weevils are all over. They're not just in Ecuador. There's a couple. I've had a weevil in my bedroom. I saved him. I brought him downstairs and outside. I fucking love weevils. I love weevils so much. If I have two weevils, and one of them is pretty big, and one of them is kind of small, I'll take the smaller one, because it's the lesser of two weevils. Hi, hello, Zelt! I'm getting turned into a pancake! Nice. Never seen one before up close. They're so cute. I love that. They're a lot smaller than you think. What? Oh yeah, you're new here! So Blef, I don't know if you've ever played or seen Outer Wilds be played, but Blef is my name for the anglerfish. So, if you attack me with a blef, it sends one of the blefs. One of the many blefs, which are all said the same way. But they're spelled differently. You've eaten one in a game? You've eaten an anglerfish in a game? Nice. You were hoping it was some kind of throw. I'll let you in on a secret. If you look at the color of the Blef attack redeem, my redeems are color-coded. You've eaten a weevil in a game. Was it grounded? My channel redeems are color-coded. So you can know which ones are throw redeems. I think someone mentioned recently that weevils are good in that game. Good for protein. Nods. Nod, nod, nod. Alright. Following the annihilation of Raccoon City, Umbrella was hit hard with multiple lawsuits for their involvement in the incident. But there was an organization that was hit even harder by the fallout of that incident, the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium, an organization comprised of pharmaceutical companies from around the world. Yeah, I mostly color-coded the redeems for my own sake, because it helps my sanity, knowing which one's which. It's not very, obvious, but it's consistent, so. Umbrella's development of and experimentation with bioorganic weapons, BOW, along with the sale of those weapons on the black market, caused people to distrust the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium, and the fact the Umbrella was an executive board member only deepened their misgivings. If things had ended there, the consortium may have just escaped with a tarnished reputation, but in today's world, medicine is an integral part of almost all medical procedures. The public is also quite informed when it comes to which medications are trusted and which are not. If the population loses trust in the pharmaceutical company responsible for creating certain medications, it can quickly bankrupt said company. Yeah. The Umbrella trials took a turn for the worse for the consortium when prosecutors presented evidence that incriminated many other pharmaceutical companies. Prosecutors showed that Umbrella acquired medicines and techniques developed by other companies and employed them in their own bioweapons research. They commissioned each of the respective companies to only partially develop certain medications so that they could not be traced to what was ultimately being developed. The responsible companies thus unwittingly contributed to the development of bioweapons. Until this development in the case, the consortium looked at the lawsuits as Umbrella's problem. Now the problem was thrust into their laps as well. The companies that were linked to Umbrella faced the possibility of sharing blame for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of innocent people, and if Umbrella lost the lawsuits, they would face bankruptcy as well. Even if Umbrella was found not guilty of any wrongdoings, the negative publicity would not only be disastrous for sales, but the governments of the world would revoke the company's permits to sell their products. Ah, cancel culture. Don't worry about all the deaths. No, don't worry about it. The companies are just getting canceled. That's what's happening here. Not having permission to distribute their products worldwide would effectively dismantle their businesses. The pharmaceutical companies realized they had no choice but to take drastic measures to counter their dismal prospects. The consortium decided to strike a deal with the prosecutors. They would put all their efforts into assisting with the case against Umbrella, even to the point of turning over any internal company documentation. The prosecutors in the case, being obsessed with seeing Umbrella fall, agreed to accept the help of the consortium's companies, and in return they would not pursue legal action against them. Snitches. In 2003, Umbrella was found guilty on all charges. With its fall, the scandal that rocked the pharmaceutical industry to its core could finally be put to rest. It says, page 10 of 31. But Umbrella's dismantlement led to an unforeseen situation. In the fallout of Umbrella's collapse, BOWs began to show up on the black market. The weapons wound up in the hands of terrorists, guerrilla fighters, and unstable state governments. Soon the threat of these BOWs began to be felt around the world. Faced with a new Umbrella-like crisis, the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium knew they would have to take immediate action. It was then the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, BSA, was formed to fight threats from BOWs. Upon its initial foundation, only 11 elite individuals were made part of the BSA. Their job was limited to that of observers to armies and police units around the world that conducted counter-bioterrorism operations. Unfortunately, the world's bioterrorism problem was much bigger than anyone had anticipated, and so a new course of action was required to handle the problem. When IRL started having an umbrella logo, I know someone that panicked. To that end, consideration was given to creating a team that could react instantly to threats, but the BSA was still only a civilian-led organization. They could not operate freely in sovereign nations, and thus were unable to conduct investigations, make pertinent arrests, or even use force in the situation that dictated it. It was clear now that the threat of bioterrorism was now the entire world's problem, and something would have to be done. The BSA was then reformed under the UN's jurisdiction. As a UN-controlled special forces team, the BSA's acceptance by the UN's member states was taken as a given. The truth of the matter was that only 70% of the member states would approve of BSA activities on their soil, and the remainder of the states would only approve BSA activities in their countries on a conditional basis. That is how the current incarnation of the BSA was formed. I like saying BSA. The BSA's headquarters was located in England, but any further details of the location were not released to the public. Since a BSA team had to be able to be deployed within 12 hours, it was assumed that they were located near an airport hub or an Air Force base. Some sources claimed that the BSA had bases in the area under their jurisdiction. The following is a list of areas under the jurisdiction of their respective BSA branches. European headquarters in Europe and Western Russia, Middle East branch for the Middle East and part of Africa, North American branch for the entire North American continent. Chris Redfield is stationed here. South American branch, the entire South American continent. West African branch, the western part of the African continent. Sheva Alomar is stationed here. East African branch, the eastern part of the African continent, and Far East branch, Eastern Russia and their countries east of India. Oceanian branch, Australia is the center of operations for Oceania, and Antarctica, where Umbrella's Antarctic base was located, falls under the jurisdiction of the Oceanian branch. That tracks. I think Australia is the place where, boat trips to Antarctica deploy from. Maybe that's just the one that I know of. They really built a place where there was no bears. It's anti-bear. Like, the Arctic Circle is named for bears. It's the Bear Circle. And the Antarctic Circle is the no bear circle. Amazing. Each BSA branch had a considerable number of people on their tactical teams, most of them coming from the police, special forces, and militaries around the world. The support staff of the teams was also quite large, and they came mainly from government organizations in different countries. There are many groups of experts on the staff that provided technical, medical, physical, and mental support to the teams. The BSA deployment teams were divided into two groups. The first group was the Special Operations Unit, or SOU. SOU. The SOU were sanctioned to infiltrate an area, engage in combat, and subdue offenders. Teams were usually comprised of 12 members, and each team was divided into 3 4-man cells. A special feature of the SOU is the flexibility of its personnel during operations. In order to match the scale of an operation, cells from other teams are brought in on a regular basis. For one specific joint operation, there were 70 elite members working together. How's the heck are any bear facts? Well, there was a bear, that was recently extracted from a crawl space. In Altadena, California, after the Eaton fire, residents were evacuated, and when trying to get power restored to their house and return to their house, they were told, sorry, we can't turn your power back on. We looked into your crawl space where we need to go to turn the power on, and there was a whole ass grizzly bear in there. So they're like, They call Fish and Wildlife, and, Fish and Wildlife looks in, and is like, well, shit. Based on how tight this crawl space is, and how big this bear is, we cannot sedate him. So, they set up a trap outside of the crawl space, go to the local supermarket, buy up a whole bunch of good smelling shit, including a whole ass rotisserie chicken and peanut butter. They put it in the trap that they set up, and within minutes, the bear crawls on out from under the house and starts munching. They then sedate him in the trap. There was a photo of him, like, laying, sleeping, zonked out, and this fucking bear had, like, Michelin Man fat rolls on his arm. Like, I am impressed at this absolute unit. He's so cute. He is gigantic. 525 pounds of bear. Like, thank fuck he was hibernate sleepy. Like, Jesus. Speaking of hibernation as well, polar bears don't need to pee when they're hibernating. Their kidneys have developed the ability to just recycle the water in their body, so they don't need to wake up during the winter. I love bear. I love bear too. Bears in all their forms. What a life to be a bear accepting his peanut butter and rotisserie chicken feast. No, for real. It's like you got woken up by these dumb humans. The fucking homeowner was like, he talked to the fucking a news crew and was like, I think he's just scared. And it's like, oh, wholesome people. Ah, I wipe my tears away. It's beautiful. What other bear facts do I have? Panda bears are highly inefficient creatures. They still have bear guts and bear teeth, but they live an herbivorous diet. They live on an herbivorous diet for a low nutrition food with bamboo. They are fools. I don't know how they made it work. What else? Last bear fact. Bears are plantigrade like humans, which means that they walk with the heel of their foot touching the ground. Their foot planted. Dan Dechant is currently the leader of Alpha Team for this operation. The team is comprised of his own standard team along with cells from other teams. The designation Alpha Team will only be used for this operation. Reports indicate that because unknown BOWs are involved, the efficacy of the tactical team's methods for handling them may be low, and consideration has to be given to the strong points that raise their efficacy. Another key part of the BASA is the Special Operations Agent, SOA. Usually they are referred to as just agents, and unlike the SOW, agents work alone. The agents are primarily involved in investigations and espionage activities, and as such, they are considered the eyes and ears of the BASA. During certain operations, it may become difficult for tactical teams to penetrate to the front. So it is up to the agents to carry out the missions. Yeah! No, I'm very glad that you got to drop by. Have a good. Have good, leaving. I don't know where you're going. You don't need to tell me. I don't. Ginger. I know that I set that up, but goddamn. If I was a bear, I feel like I'd be one of those circus bear. Too many monkeys and not enough circus. Yeah, I get you. If I was a bear, well, I'd say I'd be gay, but then that wouldn't be really different than it is normally. I think I'd be a black bear, though. Cowardly, can still climb up a tree when they're small, or when they're big. Yeah, I'd be a little black bear. Oh, another bear fact is that they can smell what's inside a closed can of like canned food based on trace sniffies on the actual can from the canning process. Be a sun bear because I like when people look at me and say, "What the fuck am I looking at?" Yeah, I understand that, Catsy. Sun bears are definitely a what the fuck kind of creature. They just, like, something about their shoulders is really weird. Like, they're like the Gumby of bears. I don't know if that's a reference. I'm too young for that reference, so I don't know if anyone else is gonna get it, but, like, they're like if you tried to make a bear out of celery stalks. And then, yeah, like on a, like if you tried to 3D sculpt a bear and you started with celery stalks and then you had to, like, keep that silhouette. They're like if you drew a bear from memory but only after hibernation. Yeah, exactly. And then gave it, like, cool markings. Celery is good! I like it! It's crunchy. And it has... Oh! I think I just figured out why I like celery. Because I can peel it without hurting myself. And peel the veins of it. Squint, squint, squint. Looks around, squint. Looks around some more, squint. Yeah. I am a peely creature. How do you get your kibble, baby girl? I am a peely creature. I keep peeling my nail beds. It's bad. Whew. During those types of missions, a two-man cell is the basic deployment unit required to carry out the mission. Sometimes agents must go beyond the jurisdiction of a Basa branch to carry out their mission. Many of them are dispatched to areas with unlawful activities. This mission sees Agent Chris Redfield in that role. Agents who work alone are highly capable, and they rank higher than SAO members. However, agents are not chosen so much for their abilities or technical prowess, but for the psychological state and aptitude in handling situations. In actual skills and abilities, they may be outperformed by SAO members. I guess that's bad. What? What's bad? I gave her kibble. I'm not gonna give her more food. I give her a can of wet food a day, and then an extra little handful of kibble. Oh, peeling my nail. Yeah. I know, but I do it compulsively. And it's a problem. It's like, oh, there's something that my finger catches on. I just need to, like... It started when I was really, really little. Because when I was growing up, I had a baby blanket. I still actually have it today. But I had a baby blanket where the edge of it was made out of, like, a silky ribbon. It was rainbow. And early on, it really bothered me whenever I had, like, a little bit of, like, dry skin on my fingers. Like a hangnail or something that would catch. Like, I like to stroke the silk. And I, like, if I had anything sticking out of my fingers, like a hangnail, it would catch. And I had a couple of moments where I, like, tore it a little, like I made a run in the silk. So it didn't, like, rip, but it wasn't as silky. And I hated that it wasn't as silky anymore. So I started, like, obsessively peeling my fucking... It's not even like a hangnail. It's like the fleshy version of a hangnail. But, like, it was enough to catch on the silk and like, take me out of the moment. So I started, like, biting them off. And then I would also just, like, bite off my fingernails until high school when I started clipping them into points, which somehow magically cured me of ripping them off more often than not. I've only clipped them when either they get too long and they start to like bend, or when I've done a pottery class, or when I've let them grow out too long without like shaving down the corners, and I accidentally rip off the top of the nail. Because if I have one, so I wanted claws back in high school, I still want claws! I have always been a furry edgelord. I am eternally a furry edgelord. It's really funny when people notice my fingernails for the first time. They're like, how long have you had those? And I'm like, since high school? And they're like, no fucking way. I have fluffies because I'm avoidant of touchies. I understand completely. I'm very tactile. I saw Sabretooth and I was like, that! Yeah. No, what was it that I saw? It might have been like anthro, like werewolf artists. God, I remember a time in like middle school where I would Google search anthro instead of furry. What even was my first exposure to all of that? DeviantArt, maybe? It must have been DeviantArt. Or no, it would have been, fucking Neon Dragon. Before DeviantArt, because I was on the Okaki there. Anywho. The BSA is a public organization with an international staff, but owing to the logistics of running such an organization, it is a well-known fact that most of their funding comes from the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium. While this relationship has been the target of much criticism, the consortium's funding removes the financial burden from participatory nations, and as such, any motivation to change the situation and incur unwanted expenses. And as such, any motivation to change the situation and incur unwanted expenses. As for the consortium, their sponsorship acts as a much-needed industry-wide PR service. So far, this partnership has been beneficial to all parties involved. Here's this crystal from Star Fox. Yeah, it could have also been like Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. A little bit of the Berserker dress sphere from Final Fantasy X too. Mental note, make fluffy things, show the heck out. Yes. Show me all the fluffy things. On a final note, the 11 members who were part of the BSA from the beginning are highly respected within the organization and are known as the Original 11. The name comes from the Original 7, who were the 7 astronauts selected for Project Mercury. One of these Original 11 is Chris Redfield. A number of other members of the Original 11 also work alongside many of the tactical teams. Nice. Magini! Listed below is what is currently known regarding the Las Plagas parasite. Though only recently discovered, the parasite known as Las Plagas was sealed away under the family castle of Castellan Ramon Salazar for many generations. The parasite attaches itself to a human host and is assimilated by the central nervous system. Infected humans lose all rational thinking faculties and are wholly subject to control by another type of plaga known as a control plaga, usually another infected human. Hosts may lack rational thought function, but they still retain human-level intelligence such as the ability to understand and communicate with each other. They can also use tools and are surprisingly crafty when working in groups against an enemy. Leon S. Kennedy documented his encounter with these infected humans in the Kennedy Report. In his report, they were referred to as ganados. The presence of Las Plagas in this mission has been confirmed. It is currently unknown how the parasites, discovered in Europe, came to be present in Africa. A known bioweapon smuggler, Ricardo Irving, is wanted for questioning regarding this matter. I heard if you rub a genie, you get a wish. It might be the lamp that you need to rub, Jinja. Though I don't think the genie will be unhappy if you give them a rub too. This information was obtained by the Basa's Alpha team at great personal risk for themselves. Their report indicated that a Las Plagas sample was extracted from Europe and has undergone both biological and genetic modification, creating a more effective and potentially dangerous biological weapon. This modified Las Plagas has been classified by researchers as Type 2 Plagas. The presence of the Type 2 Plagas has been confirmed to be present in Africa by various intel reports. Type 2's initial infection characteristics vary from the original parasite's infection. The Las Plagas discovered in Europe were injected into humans during the egg phase. They would then reach maturity within the host body, at which point they would assume control of the host's central nervous system. How were they supposed to get into the humans as an egg? What's their parent host? They're injected into the bloodstream. And then they cross the blood-brain barrier, I guess. Man, they would need to be really fierce against the immune system. I'm pretty sure most of my parasite knowledge it comes from just the dog heartworm Durifilaria immitis. Which lives in the hearts of host mammals, and then they disperse. I don't know if they lay eggs or what, but the babies, the microfilaria, will swim out through the dog's veins or other host animal. And then something like a mosquito will get a little blood meal. The microfilaria will swim back to her hindgut, into her Malpighian tubules where the eggs are developing. They'll burrow into the walls of the egg tubes, and they'll start developing into an older larval form. Once they hit L1, they leave the Malpighian tubules, they go back up through the hindgut, through the thorax, into the mouth parts, so that they can be injected into a new host. Fortunately, the one time that I got bitten by an infected mosquito, it was only one, and it was nifty to get to see my immune system absolutely fucking destroy the worms. You'll know if you've been bitten. Well, you'll know if you've been bitten by an infected mosquito because your immune response will be much more aggressive than normal. So instead of having a small bug bite, you'll have a large bug bite. It'll be like a large rash. Which is how I was allowed to work with them as a BSL-2 lab and not BSL-3 or 4, because BSL-2 means that it can be transmitted to hosts, but humans are not a host that can get it. BSL-3, I think, is that humans can contract it, but it's easy to avoid, and then BSL-4 is like, you gotta be really fucking careful with those diseases. Yeah. With Type 2, infection occurs from a mature parasite. This requires it to enter the host orally, usually by being forced directly into the potential host's mouth. The observed result of this type of infection method is one of extreme muscular convulsions and uncontrollable body spasms. Also of note, where the original Las Plagas took anywhere from a few hours to a few days to assimilate a host, Type 2 requires almost zero maturation time. From this point alone, Type 2 is a much more efficient weapon. Infections of this type have already been witnessed by Basa operatives currently stationed in the area. Type 2 takes over the central nervous system of infected humans and incapacitates normal rational thought faculties. The infected hosts become willing subjects to the ones that control them. However, to maximize their effectiveness as a weapon, the persons who command them do not need to possess a control plaga to do so. Hosts retain their intelligence, and the abilities of the host are dependent on the abilities inherent in the human before infection. This is the same as with the original version of the Las Plagas parasite. It has been speculated that to raise their proliferation as a weapon, the parasite has been altered so that its host will actively infect others in order to increase their numbers. According to intel reports, Type 2 hosts are apparently known as Majini to weapons dealers. This word comes from the local language meaning evil spirit. Because the codename Type 2 exists, it's presumed that there are subsequent numbered types, such as Type 3 and Type 4. No confirmation of this, however, has been acquired at this time. You don't get sick often, your immune system makes diseases. I've been told it's related to my blood type. Nice! Alright, so there's an ad. So I'm going to go to the BRB screen. I'm going to finish my spaghetti, I'm going to take a piss break, and we are going to have a good time. Forcefully. Do the mouse like a face hugger. Probably not the face hugger. Because a face hugger injects its eggs into the host's stomach. Whereas the, Las Plagas is like worms that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Though, it's unclear natural mechanics to me. How it gets inside the brain. I don't know. Okay. I'll be right back. smells like fart in here. Let's read about Chris. Oh wait, yeah. Thank you for the iPad. I said it smells like fart in here. Okay. I had to scrape nudes from my teeth. You know, as one does on a Monday. I almost said a Sunday and then a Tuesday and then I got to the right day. So sorry. So sorry, new people. You're experiencing a level of hecka that is a unique flavor of bug. Alright. Listed within this file is a general background of my lean. Yeah. I needed to lean down and grab my charger for my controller. I used it unplugged. I cannot believe, though, that I didn't get a charger with this fucking controller. It's a little ridiculous. The hell? Did it just stop playing? What the hell? Okay. Point for you guys. Did I just... One second. It's making sounds for you guys, I assume. That's so weird. My speaker stopped working. Wait. Oh, wait, I also need to... Huh. Oh, it's because I fucking... You little shit! My fucking... headphones stole the audio output! Not my headphones, the controller that I just plugged in. I wish I had a way to just always have this turned off. Never, don't allow. Default, no. Set it for nothing. Still playing shit through there. I want you gone! Don't allow. Controller. Yeah. Driver for display audio, no. Okay, there. Oh, I speakers. Don't allow. There we go. There we go. And then, yes. All right. No. What the fuck is the sound? For me. For moi. I am so sorry that I am so bad at this. What the hell? Speakers, yeah. Uh-huh. And then my phone needs to always be this. This we don't allow. Yeah. There. All sound devices. There. No. Okay, back. Da, 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 da. Oh, that device. Well, can y'all hear it? I got nothing. Fantastic. You know what? I don't need. Okay, if I. No, it's not doing anything now. Okay, cool. Fucking wonderful. Okay, that's fine. We'll just turn on this. We'll just turn on our background music. We don't need none of these, You can hear your fantastic host, and that's fine. Yeah, I think the audio just fucking died. This is why I can't plug in this fucking controller at all. No charging for me. No, not allowed. I wonder... Actually, if I can... If I... Put this into my Switch box? No, my Switch isn't in here. Theoretically, this will charge still. Yeah? Yes. Steals it and has a loose plug. Fucking ridiculous. Alright. Well. Yeah, it claims my settings claim that Resident Evil 5 is going to my speakers. But no, there's nothing. Oh well. I probably confused it. I probably confused the game. And I would need to restart it, but I don't care that much. So we're going to continue reading. Chris Redfield. Listed within this file is a general background information overview of the BSA agent Chris Redfield as pieced together from various sources. Of course, tangled together. The information listed here is neither complete nor should it be used as a psychological analysis of the subject. Chris Redfield began his military career in the United States Air Force. That's all I need to know. Ignore the other 26 pages. No, kidding. Possessing a service record replete with both commendations and disciplinary actions, commanding officers have described Chris as uncompromising, possessing unwavering dedication, and having a high level of adaptability. It was these traits that saw Chris earn his wings, but also these same traits that brought him into direct conflict with superiors. Unable to settle these differences, Chris retired. He was not forcefully retired. Chris retired from the United States Air Force. After retirement, Chris was scouted by Raccoon City Special Forces, STARS, because of his superior firearm and hand-to-hand combat skills, along with his qualifications as both fixed-wing aircraft and helicopter pilot. Joining the STARS team, Chris was designated as Point Man, PM, for Alpha Team. As PM, it was his duty to scout and secure positions ahead of the team. His duties required him not only to be a good shooter and fighter, but also be able to use a wide array of weaponry. It was in this area where he excelled, showing the ability to handle anything from small arms to large weapons and the flexibility to use them as the situation dictated. Be a player character, Chris. Chris's performance with STARS was exemplary. It appeared that he had finally found his niche. But fate had other plans in mind for Chris. Unbeknownst to him, the next chapter in his story was about to unfold on that fateful night in July 1998. The STARS Bravo team, responding to reports of disappearances in the surrounding areas of Raccoon City, abruptly went radio silent. Alpha team was sent in to investigate. Shortly after their helicopter touched down, they were attacked by wild, ravenous canines known as the BOW Cerberus, and were forced to take refuge in a nearby mansion. The mansion was in reality the Arclay research facility for the pharmaceutical giant Umbrella. It was at this facility that they developed bioweapons and conducted uncounted illegal experiments. Here, Chris and his partner, Jill Valentine, were forced to combat numerous BOWs as part of an active tactical research plan devised by Albert Wesker. Wesker was the commanding officer of STARS, and therefore Chris and Jill's superior. Though all of his actions were done at the behest of the Umbrella Corporation, Wesker used his rank in STARS to manipulate Chris and Jill. Wesker unleashed several BOWs into the mansion in order to gather data for his own ends. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. This tragedy in the Arclay Mountains became known as the Mansion Incident and ended with Chris and Jill destroying the creature known as Tyrant and the death of Wesker and the destruction of the laboratory. Having survived the incident at the mansion, Chris attempted to notify the authorities regarding Umbrella's activities, but all his warnings were ignored due to Umbrella's powerful sway. Having exhausted this option, he attempted to notify the US government of the situation. This too, however, proved fruitless. He knew that taking on such a large corporate entity alone would not be easy, and might in fact prove fatal, but in the end he was left with no other choice. Thus, Chris continued his investigation on his own. Without informing his family of his intentions, he soon departed for Europe. Chris wanted to shield his family from any ill effects his investigation might incur, but ironically it brought one of his family members into the fray. When Claire Redfield was unable to get in contact with her brother, she journeyed to Raccoon City to find him. Upon arrival in the city, she found the area awash in the terror brought on by the spread of the T-virus. In that land of death and confusion, Claire met Leon S. Kennedy, and together they were able to fight their way out of the city. After the Raccoon City ordeal, Claire flew to Paris to investigate Umbrella's activities in Europe, but she was captured and sent to Rockford Island. When Chris learned from Leon what had happened to Claire, he made his way to Rockford Island to free her. It was there that Chris was confronted with many harsh facts. Umbrella had a research facility in Antarctica. Alexia Ashford was still alive. There was a new virus called T. Veronica, and most surprisingly of all, Albert Wesker was still alive. The man behind the horror of the mansion incident, Chris's former commanding officer, somehow survived the destruction of the mansion. Once again, Chris was unwittingly thrust into one of Wesker's schemes, and he was forced to face the man whose destiny appeared to be intertwined with his own. Chris was easily overpowered by Wesker's inhuman strength, but luck was on Chris's side that day. In the ensuing conflagration that consumed the island, Chris and Wesker's conflict was put on hold. Chris and Wesker's conflict was put on hold for the time being. With his resolve strengthened, Chris determined that no matter at what personal cost to himself, Umbrella would fall. Fast forward to 2003. Chris is in the skies over Russia, his partner, Jill Valentine, by his side. At this point, Umbrella was in dire straits. In the wake of the destruction of Raccoon City, the company became embattled in litigation and their stock price plummeted. It was only a matter of time before Umbrella collapsed. It was during this time that Chris learned of Umbrella's plans to develop a new type of BOW. Chris and Jill had obtained information and were headed to the Caucasus laboratory where the T-Alos plan was being conducted in secret. They were to rendezvous with an anti-bioterrorism unit and attack the location. Not long after this incident, the once seemingly untouchable Umbrella was officially no more. The seed that Umbrella sowed, however, would continue to reap tragedy for the world. BOWs were no longer restricted to areas of conflict, but were now being used in terrorist attacks against innocent civilians. It was at this time that Chris and Jill joined the BSA, a group dedicated to eliminating those bioweapons. The two of them traversed the world together, partners in the fight to bring bioterrorists to justice. The shadow of Umbrella still loomed large, though, as they would soon discover. When Chris and Jill went to question Umbrella's founder, Oswald E. Spencer, about Wesker's whereabouts, they were greeted by the sight of Umbrella's founder lying crumpled on the floor, the blood-stained figure of Wesker standing over him. This would be the third confrontation between Chris and Wesker. This time, the confrontation ended in tragedy as Jill, seeing no other option, made the ultimate sacrifice to stop Wesker. With one last effort, she charged Wesker and threw both herself and him over the side of a cliff. The Basa searched for Jill's body for 3 months, but no trace of her was ever found. After 3 months of searching with no success, Jill Valentine was officially declared dead by the Basa. No one knows what promises Chris made in front of Jill's empty grave, but following her loss, he redoubled his efforts to eradicate all bioorganic weapons wherever they may be. Initially stationed at Basa's North American branch, his investigations soon took him around the world. He became involved in so many operations that he soon had more missions to his name than any other Basa member. During one of his investigations, Chris learned of an upcoming bioweapons deal in Africa in connection with a man named Ricardo Irving. Irving's name has come up quite often of late in association with bioweapons smuggling. After informing the Basa African branch about Irving, Chris urgently requested permission to participate in the operation to arrest Irving. As for the reasons he wished to participate in this mission, Chris would not comment. Whether he is withholding information or not, it's unclear. As one of the most respected Basa agents, his presence in this operation greatly increases the chances of success, thus his request has been granted. Yeah, you would have all fucking died if it weren't for goddamn Chris Redfield. You needed him. Listed within this file is a general background information overview of Basa agent Sheva Alomar as pieced together from various sources. The information listed here is neither complete nor should it be used as a psychological analysis of the subject. Sheva Alomar was born into an impoverished family situation in a small factory town situated in Africa, this particular town being home to Umbrella Plant 57. As with most factory towns, the plant was the lifeblood of the town, bringing in much needed revenue and steady employment for its populace. Almost 80% of the town's adult population was employed at the factory in some facility, including Sheva's parents. While the pay was low by most nation standards, it provided a steady income for the townspeople and a happy childhood for Sheva. This happiness was short-lived, however. While only 8 years old, Sheva's peaceful life was brought to an abrupt end by the sound of sirens erupting from the factory. As the sirens pierced the air, an ominous plume of black smoke poured out of the facility. Even as a child, Sheva knew something was terribly wrong. With dread in her heart, she ran toward the factory. Arriving at the factory, she soon discovered the entrance blocked. In place of the kind old man who used to stand guard at the entrance, strange adults in protective suits were everywhere, their faces hidden by masks. Sheva could not understand what was happening. I realized years later that they were wearing anti-biohazard protective gear. They were part of Umbrella's special forces. She may not have understood the muffled voices emanating from beneath those masks at the time, but the assault rifles they leveled at her more than made their intentions understood. The country was not a very stable place to begin with, and near her town resided members of a large anti-government guerrilla army. Although only a child, Sheva knew all too well the violence that often accompanied those with guns. The adults in the village that remained were promptly executed by these gunmen. Sheva was spared this same fate thanks to the vigilance of a neighbor who was able to get her back to her parents' home unnoticed. Oh. Thus began the longest night of Sheva's life. Crippled by fear, she could only wait and pray for her parents' return. The night passed and a new day dawned, but still they did not return. As night on another day fell, she sensed a presence outside her home. Unable to contain her relief and joy, she ran to the door to greet her parents. As she swung the door open, crying aloud with joy, she was soon met with disappointment and confusion. For at the door were not her parents rushing to embrace her, but her uncle, with a look of shock and horror painted upon his face. His words crushed any hope she had left. Your parents are dead. There was an accident at the factory. Taking anything of value left in the house, her uncle then took Sheva to live with his family, taking her away from the only home she had ever known. Her life with her uncle would be brief. Not only was her uncle's family extremely poor, but he also had 7 children of his own to care for. Even though Sheva was a blood relative, he probably never would have come for her if he hadn't thought he would receive financial compensation from the factory. That compensation never came. Umbrella never gave out any payments. And soon, her aunt and uncle were unable to feed her. Life was hell for Sheva. Not only was she on the verge of starvation, she yearned to be with her parents again. In her grief, she became fixated on the notion that they were still alive. As the days passed, this belief grew so strong to the point where she could think of nothing else. She knew she had to find them. So one night, as the moon bathed the savannah in silver, Sheva ran away from her uncle's house and headed back to her hometown and the life that was stolen from her. The thought of her parents drove her on. But the expansive savannah is a harsh environment for one so young and small. During her second night, she began to feel the effects of malnutrition. Unable to find food, Sheva soon collapsed. A night in the savannah is not a quiet affair. The sounds of animals plodding along, beasts howling at the moon, insects chirping and buzzing about, and the dry wind soughing through the grass. Soughing? Sowing? South? Sowing? Sheva considered them all with wonder. She had grown up in a town and was unaccustomed to her new surroundings. Through the cacophony of strange noises, Sheva picked up a sound that was quite familiar to her. She heard the low rumbling of an engine and the sound of tires cracking over the dirt. A truck pulled up next to Sheva and a stranger got out of the passenger side and spoke to her. If she replied to him or not, she couldn't recall, but the man picked her up and placed her in the bed of the truck. The man that found Sheva was an anti-government guerrilla fighter. He provided her with food, shelter, and a place to call home. Unfortunately for Sheva, this good turn was accompanied by some bad news. She was told that the incident at the Umbrella factory was not an accident, that the factory manufactured bioweapons and Umbrella was carrying out the final test on one of its newest weapons at the dilapidated factory. The regular employees who worked there were unaware of what Umbrella was actually creating, and they paid for it with their lives, including Sheva's mother and father. After concluding the test, Umbrella took measures to conceal the entire affair. With the assistance of the government's army, they destroyed the factory along with the entire town, effectively wiping the town Sheva had called home off the map. At this news, Sheva was filled with rage. She hated Umbrella and blamed them for her parents' death, and she hated the government for just rolling over at Umbrella's behest. It was at this moment she decided to join the guerrillas in their fight against the government. Sheva started out by doing laundry, cooking meals, and taking care of other chores. After only a few years with the guerrillas, she was given her first gun. She doesn't like to talk about her time with the guerrillas. Perhaps the memories are too painful, or maybe she's too ashamed of what she did there. One of her main duties with the guerrillas was to go into town and purchase supplies for the group. You don't know if you can take them seriously being called Umbrella? Yeah. At least they're not called, like, Goop or something. For 7 long years, Sheva stayed with the guerrillas. By this time, she was a teenager and had spent most of her known life with the guerrillas. Perhaps due to her age, when she went into town, the townspeople never suspected her of being a guerrilla fighter. It could be for this very reason that she was the one they sent. It was on one of these occasions while she was in town that a man approached her. He looked like a local, but spoke with a strange foreign accent. Handing her a piece of paper and speaking in a hurried voice, he stated, "Read this. If you believe what it says, come to the church in the back alley in 2 hours." After speaking these words, he disappeared into the crowd as quickly as he had appeared. Sheva turned the paper over in her hand, and her eyes were drawn to one word: Umbrella. It was the same pharmaceutical company whose selfish aims took her parents from her. If that incident had never happened, perhaps her life would have been different. The message on the paper said that the guerrillas were planning on using bioweapons to conduct a large-scale terrorist attack that would overthrow the government. Umbrella was going to make a deal with the guerrillas to provide them with the bioweapons. The man wanted Sheva's help in stopping the deal from going through. At first, Sheva thought it was a government trap, but deep down she knew the note spoke the truth. When asked how she knew, she had this to say: "My country was strongly influenced by France, and many government officials spoke in a French patois. But this man was different. I couldn't place his accent at the time, but somehow I knew I could trust him." Sheva followed her instincts. She went to the church and met 2 men there. One of them had given her the note earlier. The other wore a suit with no tie and said that he was from the US government. What the man in the suits wanted seemed straightforward enough: the apprehension of the representative from Umbrella. From what he said, this particular person held the key to causing an irreparable blow to Umbrella. But in order to arrest him, they needed Sheva's help. As long as they got their man, they wouldn't do anything to her or her fellow guerrillas. Even if they did not succeed in arresting the man in question, they promised not to turn her or her companions over to the authorities. The man in the suit's offer seemed credible, but could she betray those who had been like family to her? The man seemed to understand Sheva's apprehension, so he asked her one simple question. Don't you want to see Umbrella punished for what they've done? Sheva quickly nodded her head. That's why we selected you. But if you want to help us fight Umbrella, then you are going to have to leave your so-called friends. And then what? What's in it for me? Look around! Open it. Look around. You know these gorillas you're with aren't doing this for some greater good. They'll do anything to topple the government, including things you know are wrong. Help us and you can finally do some good for the people of your country. And what makes you think a 15-year-old girl can help? Someday you'll learn that age matters very little. A person's life is not defined by age, but by the choices they make. You have the chance to fight for something here that goes beyond just you, something that affects the entire world. Can you really walk away when so much is at stake? Sheva would never forget these words. 3 days later, the Special Forces team arrived at the location where the deal was taking place. Sheva had left the door to the building unlocked, and she wore a wire so the team on standby could hear what was taking place. The operation was a success. The target from Umbrella was quickly apprehended and taken away. Sheva and the gorillas were taken to the American consulate, there to be released 2 days later with no charges pressed, just as promised. Recognizing Sheva's abilities, or perhaps moved by pity, the man in the suit offered Sheva the chance to start life anew in America. With nothing left in Africa for her, Sheva decided to take him up on his offer. Shortly after arriving in America, Sheva's high intelligence and drive quickly became apparent. She surpassed any and all expectations, even learning English to a native level in a mere 6 months. Within 2 years of arriving in the US, she had enrolled at a university. After graduating with high honors from her university, her legal guardian, the man in the suit, suggested that she join the newly formed Basa to help others as she had been helped. Umbrella had already been dismantled many years prior, but Sheva had not let go of her hatred toward them and all others like them. After completing basic training, she was assigned to the unit led by Josh Stone. There she trained with his unit for 8 months, learning everything she would need to know to survive in the field. After the completion of her training, she was handpicked to become a Basa agent. She is currently involved in operations throughout the world.
Oh, my god. So much reading.
I'm very glad that I'm reading this. Ricardo Irving. I'm still really deeply amused at the fact that I had multiple Resident Evil flavored dreams before I ever watched or played a Resident Evil game or movie. Like, I had one touch point for Resident Evil stuff, and just the aesthetic from that one thing was strong enough that I had multiple nightmares, multiple zombie dreams that like took Resident Evil flavored stuff. You bought the Umbrella Files? Which one's that? I know like next to nothing about Resident Evil. The lore is bonkers. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Just based on what we're seeing here, the lore is ridiculous. Big book of lore. Yeah. No, the lore is, like, it keeps having to jump the shark. Like, it's like the Fast and the Furious movies. You just gotta keep going more and more ridiculous. And, like, tangled and shit. It's great. It's like, oh, well, we developed this one, but we need to develop one that's worse. Oh, I guess there was a secret operation of this other one in this other place that they didn't know about. It's like, them having to find new evolution methods so the old Pokemon can evolve into new Pokemon without needing to retcon in the new Pokemon. The one time that is inaccurate is when Mamoswine was added, because Mamoswine happens, Piloswine evolved into Mamoswine when it knows rollout at a certain level and levels up. And it can learn rollout in the previous games. So like, theoretically it should be able to evolve in previous games. 6 was such a bloated mess it failed. I thought it should have had a monthly episodic release window and not the whole time. Interesting. Was RE6 the, no, I'm thinking RE8. I have no idea what RE6 was. I know. I think I have Resident Evil 6? I either have 4 or 6. I know that I have 2 of them and they're sequential. And this one's 5. Kind of wrap up about 5,000 plot threads. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, those fools. Alright. According to official records, Ricardo Irving is overseer of the oil refinery owned by Tricell Africa Division's Resource Development Department. Crude and arrogant, he possesses an insatiable desire for the accumulation of wealth. It is these traits, along with his unique resourcefulness, that have most likely made him Tricell's ideal agent in dealings with selling BOWs to black market individuals. The money gained from these dealings is then invested by Tricell Africa back into their bioweapons research and development. Demonstration of those weapons for clients act as operational tests. Given the degree of Irving's involvement, it is believed that he is one of only a handful of people that know the full extent of Tricell's bioweapons business. Irving's activities and their connection to Tricell, however, have been carefully kept under wraps. Adding to the misdirection is the fact that he is officially employed with the Research Development Division and not the Pharmaceutical Division that sponsors the BSAA. Tricell is a conglomerate comprised of shipping, natural resources development, and pharmaceuticals. Each division runs on its own capital, and as such, could all be considered separate entities under one parent company. Also of note are the divisions that exist between each of Tricell's branch offices. When the Basa learned of Irving's latest deal, they viewed it as illicit activity conducted on his own and without support from Tricell. Basa's mission, therefore, was not to fight biological weapons, but to apprehend a smuggler involved in an illicit deal. Irving was able to exploit that misconception to the fullest. Irving was informed of the Basa's mission and changed the location of the deal to a mine outside of the Kijuju Autonomous Zone, KAZ. When a Basa team arrived at what they thought was the deal's location inside the KAZ, they walked into a trap. Before the team even arrived, the improved version of Las Plagas was released upon the populace of the town, transforming most of them into Majini. This intel was acquired by Alpha Team and later confirmed by the data recovered by the backup team, Chris Redfield and Sheva Alomar, prior to Irving's deal. It appears that a sample of the Ouroboros virus was also released upon Alpha Team's arrival and was responsible for the termination of Dan Deschamps' team. Irving did not take into account that the Ouroboros would be engaged and defeated by Agents Redfield and Alomar, nor that a hard disk and its data would be seized. The data obtained from the hard disk allowed the two agents to proceed to the actual location of Irving's transaction, the mine. When confronted with the reality that his plan had failed, Irving was forced to take the following actions. First, he contacted his partners in the transaction and requested to delay the deal, after which point he went to the mine to retrieve any documents and materials relevant to the transaction. It was at this point that Redfield and Alomar found him. I'm so happy that they're giving me this recap because I did not pay attention to the plot, like, for shit. However, it was obvious that he had a backup plan for just such a contingency. Irving escaped thanks to the help of a hooded figure he had on standby. The two agents were left to deal with the cutest thing in the fucking planet, Popokarimu, a bat-based BOW that was originally intended to be used in the transaction. It is thought that Irving released this BOW on the agents in retaliation for disrupting the transaction and not to aid in his escape. It was becoming apparent by this point that Irving's mental stability was in question. Whether his irrational behavior was brought on by the interference of the agents or if the increased stress only brought out his true tendencies is unknown. Irving's situation, however, would digress even further. After escaping from the mine, he was soon discovered by Captain Josh Stone's Delta team inside the KAZ. In order to escape, Irving unleashed Ndesu, confirmed to be based on the El Gigante BOW used in Europe. The frustration of losing two large valuable BOWs in such short succession must have been keenly felt by the avaricious Irving. After reaching the conclusion that there was nothing more he could do, Irving plotted to escape with his accumulated wealth, but he was soon overtaken by the hooded figure who provided him a vial containing Las Plagas. This was to be punishment for his failure. He was to administer this on himself in order to fight the two agents. This vial contained a Las Plagas variant known as a Control Plaga. According to Basa intel, the use of the Control Plaga had been documented by Leon S. Kennedy in Europe. Control Plaga differs from the common form in that it does not take over a host's rational thought process. another difference being that it causes extreme transformations to the host. As such, Control Plaga hosts must resign themselves to never being able to live as a normal human again. Okay, so he was being forced to take that. I was wondering why he took that, like, by choice. In a last-ditch effort, Irving detonated the oil refinery, but unfortunately for him, the refinery was virtually dry at the time, thus limiting the size of the explosion. His hope was that he could destroy all incriminating evidence and kill Agents Redfield and Alamar so he would not have to resort to using the Control Plaga. Irving was left with no choice but to administer the injection to himself, at which point he underwent an immense and rapid transformation. But even the power he gained from that transformation did not avail him, and he met his end at the hands of the two agents.
Zippies.
Oh my god, sorry. Oh. The Indapaya reside in unique wooden structures in the wetlands. Their advanced architectural techniques are used throughout the world to repair and maintain many damaged ancient ruins. This is how the world at large knows of the Indapaya. But the Indapaya possess a secret that they do not wish to share with the rest of the world. The ancient ruins of the Indapaya kingdom reside beneath their land. In ancient times, the surrounding lands were all under the control of the sovereign Indapaya kingdom, and the City of Ruins was the seat of that monarch. Special attention should be given to the way the sovereign was chosen. While the Indapaya did have a monarchy, the king was not decided by birthright, but by the abilities and qualities he displayed during a certain required ceremony. This ceremony employed a special plant that grew in the Sun Garden residing in the deepest area of the royal city. This plant was known as the Stairway to the Sun. The Stairway to the Sun was an extremely poisonous plant, and its effects were fatal if consumed, though some individuals possessed a natural resistance to the poison. The Indapaya people believed that a man who could prevail against the poison was destined to become king. Vestiges of this ceremony are still carried out once a year by the Indapaya for the continual peace of their ancestors' spirits. Even with a natural resistance, finding an individual that could survive ingestion of the powerful poison was a rarity. It is said by the Indapaya people that one such man reigned as king for hundreds of years. Whether this legend has any validity to it cannot be ascertained at present. What is known is that this once flourishing kingdom fell into decline and was eventually abandoned by the Indapaya people. It is not known what made the Indapaya abandon their city for the wetlands. Any information regarding these matters comes from oral traditions and hearsay, which obviously calls into question the validity of the information. What is known, though, is that after leaving the city, the Indapaya viewed it as sacred ground and vowed to keep its existence hidden from outsiders. All Indapaya males between the ages of 13 and 25 are required to spend 2 years in the city to guard and protect it. It is through their continued vigilance that the great city's existence has been kept undiscovered by the outside world. Yes, Frost. There was, however, one instance of outsiders discovering their secret city. In the 1960s, a corporation went into the sacred city to find the plant used in their ceremonies and take it by force. The Indapaya fiercely resisted this incursion into their land. In times of peace, the Indapaya are builders of great renown, but when the need for war arises, they can become stout warriors. Adaptability is the essence of the Indapaya. Their physical prowess in battle was their greatest weapon, and they used it to fight bravely, but they were overwhelmed by the enemy's technological advantages. During this time, many of the Indapaya youths consumed the plant in an effort to fight off the invaders. In the end, the Indapaya were forced to cede the area of the Sun Garden and beyond to the corporation's control. But the Indapaya have not yet given up hope of one day reclaiming their sacred land and returning it to its former glory. And of course, there's still a bunch of them scattered throughout the fucking ruins, so like... It's not like... I'm following RE since the 90s, all of it, side stories, novels, movies, spin-off movies. ARGs, stage plays, and spin-offs and spin-offs. I still don't know the fucking Resident Evil lore. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, okay. Driven braver men than I, insane. Well, we're gonna read about this cutie. You ate. Shit gets retconned every game. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you kind of have to figure out what's true for this game, what's true for that game, what's true for that game. And just assume it's not gonna be true for any other game. Before it was the progenitor flower from RE5, it was leeches. Fascinating. U8 is name of the BOW born from a weapons development project involving Las Plagas. The creature is comprised of the refined DNA of multiple organisms, specifically the DNA of shelled organisms. The alterations to this aspect of the creature is reflected in its dark coloring. The carapace has an unparalleled durability and was shown to be resistant to a direct hit from RPGs and tests. Unless you hit its weak points. In which case the motherfucker crumbles, and then you can shove an egg in its mouth. This gigantic creature has another special feature in its design. Its cuteness. Chris Redfield punched a boulder and Leon's middle name is The Sex. Very true, dude. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. We are reading about the cutest fucking guy. The cutest little dude. Oh wait. Here. I have...
Game over. I died. Oh no, restart.
Game over. God, it's so stupid. Yeah, I can't believe that Chris Redfield punched a fucking boulder. Oh my god, my cat. Her hind legs are facing to the... Her hind legs and her tail are facing left. Her face and her forelegs are facing to the right and up. She is fully curled around. She's dreaming. Her little hind paw just twitched. Oh, you're so cute. I have my phone. Yes, I do. Oh no. Restart. Game over. I died. Do you want to restart? Restart? I love my cat. Oh my god. You guys. She's so cute. You die like... No, see, like, there's a part of me that wants to, I'm sending pictures of my cat to the Discord. I have my exclamation point RIP command, and I really want to make it like a thing, but like an option that can do the thing. The exclamation, because right now exclamation point RIP does like a little ghost noise. No, you can't get cobblestone using your fist. You need a wood pickaxe. Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to ask Balinar if there's a way to specifically trigger it when... Oh, no. When counter equals blank. Maybe. Squint. Use Mix It Up, I know exactly what the guy to ask about that stuff. I use Sammy, which is similar enough. It's the same basic coding. I could ask my code wizard, Balinar. Like, I'm pretty sure I can, like, envision the code. Okay, sorry, zoning out. I'm thinking about U8. He's cute. U8 is some tens of meters tall, and its pincer legs are over 3 meters in length, which is used as a weapon in close combat. These pincer attacks are not especially quick, but they are powerful enough to pierce the armor of a tank. Flying BOWs reside in the part of U8's abdomen originally intended for the maturation of eggs in an unaltered specimen. These flying BOWs are not larval U8s, but completely different creatures entirely. In a close-quarter, one-on-one fight, U8 is an overwhelmingly powerful adversary, but when it has to combat more than one opponent, its large size becomes somewhat of a liability. Its considerable bulk also makes it vulnerable to long-range attacks. To compensate for this weakness, it uses the flying BOWs in much the same way an aircraft carrier uses jet fighters. Some would consider U8 an impeccable fighting machine, but it does have its flaws. U8's size can be a detriment because it requires massive amounts of sustenance to maintain functionality. As such, U8 is not suitable for long-term assignments. According to Tricell's business information, U8 is most effective as security for its facility or when used in attacks of limited time. Because it can be used in an offensive attack, consideration must be given to the means of transporting U8 to the destination. Also, U8 is designed to reach a large size very rapidly, and this breeds imperfections in its carapace. These imperfections are limited to a certain area of the carapace, but a direct attack on this area will severely damage U8. Even with these flaws, U8's functionality, combat effectiveness, and relative ease to control have made it popular in the bioweapons market. Records indicate that Ricardo Irving has sold a multitude of both the original U8 and the upgraded version U8 Prime, which has a multi-layered carapace for extra defense along with shell covering formerly exposed areas. There were plans at one point to design a lighter, faster U8 that could maintain functionality for longer periods of time, but this would result in a significant downgrade in its defensive capabilities. This plan appears to have been scrapped. Chris Redfield and Sheva Alomar reported imperfections in the carapace of the U8 they faced, so it is suspected that it was one of the original models. Note that the U in U8 does not stand for Ouroboros, but for Ultimate. Not name names because it's a little cringe. We've got everything automated to mixed up. And colloquially, it's the mixed up wizard. Code wizard gets stumped frustrated, I can check in with Luigi. Okay. Sounds good. I'm gonna stare at the wall for a second. Not talk. Who's the ultimate life form? Oh my god. You just fucking know that most of the scientists that worked on that shit were like pretty serious about it, right? But one fucking guy was like so sparkly-eyed. All of Resident Evil lore can be summed up as, we made an evil thing, but we have full control over it and it'll never get loose. It got loose today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see that we're nearing the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna go to the BRB screen a little early. We're gonna be there until the ads finish. Y'all are awesome. We'll be right back. I took a sip of water and my tummy feels weird now. Okay. My tummy has calmed down. Let's read about Tricell, shall we? Oh. Welcome back with a burp. Ah. Lovely. Mutated dumbrag. Bioweapon. ASMR. My cat is still adorable. This is importante. Importante. She's fantastic. Okay. Tricell is a conglomerate organization comprised of shipping, natural resources development, and pharmaceuticals divisions. Tricell's history dates back to the period known as the Age of Exploration. The forebearer to Tricell was Travis Trading, a company owned by the wealthy European merchant Thomas Travis. This, you know that he was a good... You know that he's a classic rich European because he's got two first names. One was an evil game, Operation Raccoon City. It got panned, and rightfully so, but it was a ton of fun and I loved it. Oh boy. This company profited greatly from expansive trading with the Orient and laid the groundwork for what would become Tricell's shipping division. Travis Trading entered the 19th century as a profitable trading venture. In the 1800s, Henry Travis, the youngest of 7 siblings, invested much of his own fortune into the exploration of Africa. First level sucked balls, the rest was great. During this period, the exploits of explorers like David Livingstone were creating quite a stir in the newspapers of the day. Henry's expedition was inspired by these accounts, and his decision was to have a great impact on Travis Trading's future. Henry made 5 expeditions to the African continent in order to explore all of its regions. The extensive funds of the Travis family allowed him to continue his research into Africa even through times when results were not forthcoming. After his 5th and final expedition in Africa, Henry Travis returned to his home country a full 34 years after he had first left it. I'm doing this voice because I feel like I'm getting slightly fewer articulation issues than when I speak in my normal voice. Fucking... Henry compiled the records of his expeditions into an impressive 72-volume set entitled Survey of Natural History. These books covered everything from animals, plants, insects, minerals, and topography to the native inhabitants and their cultures, histories, and traditions. These books also contained extensive records detailing the folklore of various peoples throughout the continent. These tomes were a veritable encyclopedia of the African continent. Henry's survey was published in its entirety, but his meticulous details were viewed as products of creative license and an overzealous imagination. The books were ultimately discredited by the scientific community. Considered to be a novelty item, only a few copies of the entire series were ever published. The shock of being shunned by the scientific community sent Henry into a deep state of depression. He passed away only 2 years after his return from Africa. Honestly, I fucking understand. Man, you spend over 3 decades of your life documenting this continent. And then you get back home and everybody fucking laughs at you? Yeah, I would also die out of sadness. Jeez. It is now believed that the head of Travis Trading at the time, Henry's oldest brother, purposely spread the rumor that Henry's books were nothing more than fiction. The thought being that he did this because he wanted Travis Trading to be the only company that could exploit the information contained within those books. Asshole. Of particular interest was the topographical information contained in volumes 17 through 24. By the end of the 19th century, Travis Trading had begun to exploit the mineral resources of Africa. All over the continent, the company was mining for precious metals and discovering/developing oil and natural gas fields. Meanwhile, the company's profits continued to soar. These operations formed the basis of Tricell's Natural Resources Development Division. I wonder how soon geologists got involved in natural, like, precious metals and oil and natural gas stuff. Because, like, now they are a critical part of those endeavors, because they can look at the geology and be like, okay, so you're most likely to find XYZ in this spot. Dig here. It's how you can be a geologist and make a shit ton of money. Travis Trading built a firm foothold in Africa, and beginning in the mid-20th century, they had begun to actively collect samples of plants, animals, and insects. Henry's books were instrumental in guiding these endeavors. The collected specimens were used in pharmaceutical research, and before long that research brought commercial success in the subsequent founding of Tricell's Pharmaceuticals Division. Travis Trading was the basis for the shipping division. The Natural Resources Development Division was born from the information contained in Henry's journals. The specimens obtained from the African fauna were used to create the Independent Pharmaceuticals Division. By the 1960s, these three divisions of Travis Trading were firmly established, and they formed a conglomerate under the name Tricell. The Travis family, however, were not the only ones privy to the knowledge of Henry's journals. Memory serves, before all this progress for dinner fire from leeches, the T-virus was an accident trying to find a mutating cure for the common cold. Yeah, that sounds about right. Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer, was interested in them for the folklore recorded therein. Of particular interest were the accounts of the Indo-Paya's rituals. Spencer hypothesized that the flower used in their rituals held significance, and this ultimately led to the discovery of the progenitor virus. Oh, that's all 12 pages. Jill Valentine. Listed within this file is a general background information overview of former STARS agent Jill Valentine, as pieced together from various sources. The information listed here is neither complete nor should it be used as a psychological analysis of the subject. When a crisis situation arises, few soldiers excel to the level of Jill Valentine. She is proficient in the use of various firearms, is a master at lockpicking, and is skilled in the disposal of explosives. Jill's talents make her an integral component of any fighting force. Like Chris Redfield, Jill was a member of the STARS Alpha team. She was also involved in the tragedy at the RE5 research facility, also known as the Mansion Incident. During the incident, Jill and Chris operated independently, but together discovered the truth behind the facility. They learned that Barry Burton was not really a traitor, but was being controlled by Albert Wesker, captain of Alpha Team. In addition to Wesker's machinations, they also learned the source of the zombie outbreak was due to the release of the T-virus, and that Umbrella was more than just an ordinary pharmaceutical company. Jill, the master of unlocking. What Jill learned at the RE5 research facility would have profound repercussions on the rest of her life. Following their return from the mansion, Chris and Jill attempted to inform the authorities of Umbrella's activities. For all their good intentions, they were met with no movement toward any official investigation into the company. Fed up with the lack of response, the two took it upon themselves to investigate Umbrella. They concentrated their efforts on Umbrella's main base of operations in Europe. As a STARS member entrusted with protecting Raccoon City, Jill chose to remain in the city for the time being and investigate the Umbrella research facility there before rendezvousing with Chris in Europe. This decision led to her involvement in the Raccoon City incident. During her investigation, rodents infected with the T-virus in the RE5 research facility began to spread the virus into the city. The virus quickly spread, infecting a majority of the residents. Umbrella, the perpetrators behind this incident, reacted swiftly. Umbrella sent in the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, UBCS, to handle the situation. And they also dispatched the bioweapon Nemesis T-type to take out any surviving STARS members, who Umbrella now considered a threat. Jill attempted to escape from Raccoon City all the while being hunted by the Nemesis T-type. During this time, she encountered a member of the UBCS team, Carlos Oliveira. Carlos claimed his team was on a rescue mission to save any survivors in Raccoon City. Having no reason to doubt that mission's purpose, he proposed to help Jill escape. Jill, on the other hand, had her doubts. However, the situation had reached critical proportions, and Jill did not have the luxury of time. The original Resident Evil game sold on mean value, since redubbing an ADR work in those days is laughable. Huh. The US government was planning on containing the spread of the virus by launching a special missile strike on the city called Operation Bacillus Terminate. When Jill became infected with the T-virus as a result of Nemesis T-type, she despaired of ever being able to get out alive. Fortunately for her, Carlos was there to help. Carlos obtained a cure to the T-virus infection and gave it to Jill. After her recovery, she worked with Carlos and they successfully escaped from Raccoon City. In 2003, after Operation Tialos, Jill and Chris became 2 of the original 11 founding members of the BSAA and joined them in their fight against bioweapons and bioterrorism around the world. Chris and Jill stopped bioweapons in Asia, destroyed bioweapon labs in South America, arrested smugglers in Europe, and patrolled the world in an attempt to stamp out all bioweapons. Throughout their activities, while they may have suspected long fingers of Umbrella as being involved, they never had any conclusive proof. Those long fingies, however, would turn out to be connected to the hands of Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer. The pair received intel on Spencer's whereabouts and rushed off to arrest him, only to find their former captain and hated enemy, Albert Wesker. Seeing Spencer's crumpled corpse on the ground, the two changed their plans to arrest Wesker instead. In a 2-on-1 fight, Chris and Jill should have had the advantage, but Wesker's strength and agility were well beyond that of any normal human. For all their training, Jill and Chris were no match for Wesker. As Wesker was about to end Chris's life, Jill made the ultimate sacrifice. Lunging at Wesker, she threw both herself and him out of a window and over the side of a cliff. Chris could do nothing as he watched his partner fall to her death. BSAA launched a full-scale search operation, but neither Jill's body nor any of her personal effects were ever recovered. On November 23rd, 2006, Jill Valentine was officially declared dead, and her name was added to the list of BSAA members who died in the line of duty. But Jill's story did not end there. The fall did not kill Jill nor Wesker. Though badly hurt and unconscious, Jill was saved by Wesker. After giving her the medical treatment she required, he placed her in a cryogenic sleep. Once the Ouroboros plan was finalized, Wesker intended to use her as the first test subject. This was Wesker's way of exacting his revenge. Fortunately for Jill, luck was on her side. The apparatus monitoring her vital signs detected some abnormalities. Something was happening inside Jill's body, and Wesker's curiosity was piqued. Further investigation showed that a mutated form of the T-virus was still inside her body. It was a remnant from her infection in Raccoon City. The cure she was given was supposed to have eradicated all traces of the virus in her body, but instead it caused the virus to go into a dormant state. Her extended period in a cryogenic sleep somehow reactivated the virus, conveniently. Shortly after being reactivated, the T-virus completely disappeared from her body, but it left something else in its place. Wesker found that Jill's body now contained powerful antibodies to the virus. A lot of things was happening. Wait a second! Points. Nudes! Nudes! Are you still here? Nudes! The throne link reminded me! I'm pretty sure it was you. Squints. Squints at this channel and goes back. Yeah! I don't know if Nudes Dudes is still here. But you little shit. Thanks for the shark. If you're not here, I'll thank you again later. If you are here, I'll thank you again later. Anywho. A lot of things were happening inside Jill's body. Yes. It's called biological processes. Yes. All those years the T-virus was inside her body forced her to develop a defense system that was nothing short of miraculous. This discovery would help further Wesker's ambitions. The development of the Ouroboros virus, the centerpiece of the Ouroboros plan, had proven to be quite difficult. The Ouroboros virus developed from the progenitor flower proved to be too poisonous to humans to be of much use. Instead of spurring the next step in human evolution, it only invited death. Kind of problematic. Wesker theorized that using Jill's antibodies could make the virus less poisonous. He kept Jill alive solely to produce antibodies for his research. Has Lisa Trevor come up yet? Nope. Jill, who had reviled bioweapons and devoted her life to eradicating them, was ironically being used to develop the most terrible bioweapon of all. After much research and experimentation, Wesker finally perfected the Ouroboros virus. Jill's participation in its development meant she was no longer a suitable test subject. Pure and unadulterated antibodies with high resistance to the virus permeated her body. Wesker decided he would find a suitable use for her elsewhere. During the research into the progenitor virus, an ancillary chemical was discovered. The researchers referred to it as simply P30. When administered to test subjects, it would not only give them superhuman strength, but also render them highly susceptible to control. They just They just make a degenerative virus. Mind control. It's chemical. P30 was the ultimate performance enhancer. Be careful that nobody in the Olympics gets their hands on it. The aims of the Ouroboros plan were to create a new breed of humans, so P30's application in this plan was inconsequential. However, for the time being, it could be marketed as a product and garner additional funding. Research into creating the ultimate soldier who didn't resist orders was carried out simultaneously on Las Plagas and P30. Unfortunately, the latter had a severe drawback. The effects of P30 would only last for a very short time. An injection of P30 was metabolized and expelled by the body at an expeditious rate, requiring re-administration of the drug at frequent intervals. This greatly lessened the viability of such a product as a long-term performance enhancer. The only counter to such a drawback was to attach a device to the subject that would continually administer the drug. While P30's effects were brief, it was still a powerful and effective drug. The effects of continual administration were untested, so in order to research this aspect further, an administration device was attached to Jill. An external device was attached to Jill's chest that would continually administer the drug to her body. With her free will constantly being usurped, she remained a servant to Excella and Wesker until Chris and Sheva destroyed the administration device. Keep hoping you remember Lisa Trevor exists and someone digs her up. We'll see. We have Excella, Gioni, and Albert Wesker's entries. I highly doubt that she's gonna come up, but she might. I'm sorry, I'm once again distracted by my cat. She's so perfect. I love her so much. If she doesn't, I'll tell you about her. Excellent. I love my cat, you guys. Scarface. I love Scarface. Sorry to disappoint. Oh. Excella Gioni. The Gioni family is well known and respected throughout Europe for their successful export-import business. Her grandmother, being from the Travis family, the founders of Tricell, has endowed Excella with quite a noble and storied lineage. Blessed with model-like beauty and raised in such an aristocratic family has led to her being haughty towards those around her, especially men. But it was neither Excella's looks or family background that got her to where she is today. Gifted with a keen intellect and inheriting her father's business acumen, Excella quickly breezed through school and enrolled in a university at a young age. There, she majored in genetic engineering, and her talents were recognized by her grandmother's family. With her connections, she was able to enter Tricell's pharmaceutical division at the age of 18. Although she was a gifted member of Tricell's founding family, she was still a Gioni, an offshoot of the famed Travis family. Even with all the research teams at Tricell's disposal, she was only given one. Excella viewed this act as slight. While still feeling indignant over this affront, she was approached by Albert Wesker. Wesker's interest in Excella was piqued by her intelligence and character. It was at this time he provided her with all the information he had concerning the T-virus and other research. Excella was now armed with the tools to make the advances to her career that she desired. She used the information and technology she obtained from Wesker to advance Tricell's bioweapons division exponentially. In a fortunate turn for Tricell, Umbrella, who had previously dominated the bioweapons market, had gone bankrupt, greatly increasing Tricell's sway in this area. Thanks to Excella's efforts in expanding Tricell's market share, she was given more of a voice within the company. Before long, she was making key decisions that would affect the fortunes of the pharmaceutical division. This was precisely as Wesker had intended. Excella then set her sights on the position of CEO of the Tricell Africa division. Her adroit use of flattery and intimidation soon landed her that powerful position. It is now believed that it was Wesker who suggested Excella take over Tricell Africa. He exploited her romantic interest in it and was able to use both her and Tricell Africa to further his Ouroboros plan. Excella's first order of business as Tricell Africa's CEO was to restore the abandoned Umbrella Africa research facility. As a facility where research on the progenitor virus had been carried out, its use in the completion of the Ouroboros plan was vital. Following the facility's restoration, Ricardo Irving was employed to sell bioweapons in order to secure funding for the research being carried out on the Ouroboros virus. As the Ouroboros plan neared completion, Excella began to fancy herself as the queen in the new world order that would follow the plan's execution. Unfortunately for her, those dreams were dashed when the man that was to be her king injected her with the Ouroboros virus.
Womp womp.
Oh yeah, and then she turned into the beautiful tentacle monster that I had to fight. That was a really fun fight. It was really simple.
Halbert Wesker.
The Mansion Incident. The tragedy at Raccoon City, Rockfort Island, Umbrella's Antarctic Research Facility, and the Umbrella Caucasus Research Facility in Russia. The kidnapping of the US President's daughter. One man was involved either directly or indirectly with each and every one of these incidents. Albert Wesker. The motivation behind all of Wesker's actions could be found in this current incident in Africa. Wesker had already obtained samples of various organisms and viruses, including the T-virus, the G-virus, the T-Veronica virus, and Las Plagas. All of these were eagerly and enthusiastically received by Umbrella's former rival companies, who compensated him greatly for each. With wealth, power, and glory, Wesker appeared to have everything a person could ever want. Wesker, however, was not interested in material gains. An all-too-familiar sense of trepidation continued to gnaw at him, the source of this uneasiness being Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer. During his time at Umbrella, Wesker could never ascertain what Spencer's true intentions were. Spencer's extensive funding of BOW research was unheard of in the field. The whole reason for producing bioweapons was that it could be done relatively inexpensively when combined with a normal weapons delivery system. Spencer's extreme investment in BOWs seemed unnecessary. Why would Spencer need such BOWs in the first place? To find the answer to that question, Wesker joined Umbrella's information department. He made himself a desk jockey on purpose! Even after the downfall of Umbrella, these doubts continued to haunt Wesker. To find the answers he needed, Wesker began to search out Spencer. The only problem was that even before Umbrella's dissolution, Spencer had removed himself from Umbrella's day-to-day operations. Wesker had to use every resource at his disposal, all his time, money, and connections. Eventually, he ascertained Spencer's long-hidden whereabouts. On the first night of autumn, as thunder and lightning raged in the skies above, Wesker arrived at the ancient castle in Europe where Spencer resided. Wesker expected the old man to be surprised by his presence, but instead the withered old eyes of Spencer lit up with dark delight as he spoke. "You're back." The words barely audible amidst his cough-racked laugh. If Wesker had his doubts about Spencer before, he didn't know what to make of him now. He only knew at that moment that this seemingly feeble old man had been in control of everything that had transpired at Umbrella. Even Wesker's own actions through the years had been controlled and manipulated by this decrepit old man. With this sudden realization, Wesker now knew the source of his anxiety for all those years. Appearing to read Wesker's thoughts, Spencer laid out everything to him. The development of bioorganic weapons was only a means of achieving his one true goal. Fucking... eugenics! The forced evolution of mankind via viruses. It would be the end of the current form of humanity and the birth of a new superior human race. With this new race, he would build his utopia with himself as a god on Earth. In order to realize this dream, he required 3 things. 1. The progenitor virus. Without this key component, his dreams would be no more than abstract ideas. Once he discovered the progenitor virus, he had the foundation on which all his subsequent plans would be built. 2. The Umbrella Corporation. The manufacture of bioweapons was the perfect method of conducting his research on the progenitor virus. Any profits gained through Umbrella's research were secondary to his true goal. The third thing Spencer needed in his grand vision was Wesker himself. Spencer knew what was required for his utopia, but he also knew he would need a new human race. But what would that new breed of humans be like? The progenitor virus would spur natural selection upon the population. That was the fundamental premise behind Spencer's plan. But if the new breed of humans brought about by this selection process were unwilling to share in his vision, then there would be unwanted complications. His vision! This 4th stage of evolution would give the surviving humans increased strength and intelligence, but it would not affect a person's knowledge, logic, or general character. If any indolent or unsavory individual survived to be a new part of this new race, it would be a blight on Spencer's utopia. Spencer was not about to have his vision stained, so he enacted a plan to ensure that would not happen. This plan was called the Wesker Plan, which was named after the chief researcher at the time. According to this plan, hundreds of children born of parents of superior intellect from all nationalities would be collected. Eugenics! If their knowledge, logic, and self-will could not be altered by genetic manipulation, then Spencer himself would instill his values into these children by whatever means he deemed necessary. Ooh! Heckagenics? No. Sorry, I think my cat is falling off the bed. Absolutely incredible. Nope, she's the same amount of flop that she was before. These children were all given the surname Wesker, and after completion of their indoctrination and manipulation, they were placed into select controlled environments in various locations around the world, ever under Umbrella's watchful eye. The children themselves were to be kept unaware they were being monitored. With Umbrella's concealed aid, they all received the best educations available in the fields they pursued. After a few years, one child who showed particular promise was sent to Umbrella's training facility in Raccoon City. This Wesker child's name was Albert. Spencer was quite pleased by all of Albert's actions, and if the other Wesker children were like him, Spencer would have nothing but quality individuals for his new race of humanity. Spencer then enacted the second phase of his plan. All the Wesker children would be administered an experimental virus. This virus was administered to screen out the more gifted of the Wesker children. Some took the virus on the recommendation of a friend, others were given the virus as part of their medical treatment, still others had it forcibly administered to them. Albert Wesker was no different. His partner, William Birkin, gave him the experimental virus and he administered it to himself. This screening process turned out to be a little too selective. Most of the Wesker children died, leaving only a few survivors. Albert Wesker was one of the survivors, and he disappeared shortly after. Spencer was unconcerned by this development. There was a failsafe device attached to every Wesker, Spencer's existence. This was the discomfort Albert had felt throughout his life. All Wesker children were programmed to seek Spencer out, which manifested itself as a growing anxiety within each of the subjects. Just as Spencer had predicted, Albert soon came to him. Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. Sorry, I watched the cat as she, like, crumpled on the bed. Unfortunately, Spencer had made one miscalculation. His failsafe only worked for as long as it remained a mystery. As soon as the mystery was revealed, Wesker no longer had a need to restrain himself. All that was impeding Wesker was a feeble old man on death's doorstep. The right to be a god, that right is now mine. With these words, Wesker broke from the shackles that Spencer had laid on him. It was only random chance that brought his former subordinates Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine to Spencer's mansion at that exact time, but Wesker took it as a sign. The weak would always resist the will of the chosen. With renewed purpose, Wesker reflected on his own evolution and the evolution of the human race. After the incident at the Spencer Institute, he went underground and used the news of his death to veil his activities. He had achieved his goal of obtaining the virus and capital he needed from his position at Umbrella. Next, he put all his efforts into bringing his Ouroboros plan to fruition, and thereby setting himself up as a god over the new generation of humanity. He literally just stole dear old dad's bullshit. Hey, Scarface. You woke up? Yeah? No more floppies? Ash, okay. Oh, and that's it! Is that really it? I have all the figures? Yeah, okay. And the cutscenes, I don't want to replay cutscenes, especially not with the... I really like the little babies, though. 53. Yeah. Good shit. Alright. Tell me about Lisa Trevor. We're gonna. Oh. There. You learned about all the horrible shit they did, all the viruses and parasites. Yeah. Yeah, we did. Learned all about all the spooky shit. Oh, actually, well, you tell me about Lisa Trevor. I need to show you guys the best fucking there. Okay. After they built the Spencer Mansion in secrecy, they enslaved the architect's family, and then they decided to experiment on them since they had test subjects. Okay. We're not actually going to play this, but we are going to play cutscene. Or two. Lisa Trevor, the daughter, was unique. Her body adapted to everything we put into it, all the parasites, all the viruses, everything. She survived everything they pumped into her and started cultivating new T-virus out of her. Okay. Let's go with this one. This is part of the intro cutscenes right after you finish your character customization. The big lava boy that I am forgetting the name of, Zora Magdaros. You fall off of him, you do the wing drake, and then your handler's falling. Totally normal. Totally normal. She mutated a little, couldn't die. She'd regenerate, but her mind was Swiss cheese from the trauma and viral load, so she's just an immortal murder machine full of viruses and parasites and cultivating new shit. She kinda got buried in Resident Evil and the plot forgot she existed. Oh, that's depressing. She's basically like an echidna. Like Mother of Monsters from Greek legend. Echidna. I'm assuming she's still alive under the, like, the Raccoon City rebel, probably? Yeah. Yeah, here we go. I also really like this cutscene. Because having Mr. X's model on top of the handler makes it look real fruity. Oh, it's beautiful.
Here's our canteen.
Look at him! Look at! Look at!
Over there.
Look at! Also look at Scarface. My palette go.
Hey, you! I knew you'd pull through.
Right. I'm calling for a council. Come on.
God. I keep like getting like cutscenes and shit and she'll show up and it's like, hold up. Wait a minute. Like... I barely remember this cutscene. I just want to look at the flower bit. It truly makes all the cutscenes so much better.
Where's my Draginator?
Draginator! Good! Yeah! Fuck you, Zora Magnaros! Lisa's the mother of most of the bad shit in Resident Evil games and they just kind of forget her. Kinda upsets me. No, I get you. I get you completely. This also feels like something that I would be invested in. Dormagros is like, fuck you! It hurt! Owie! I'm gonna go that way.
We did it!
Oh god. Yeah! Mission successful.
It's over.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No. You're not even halfway to Iceborne yet, you guys. Don't be stupid.
40 years. Yeah.
Bean stretching! Alright, Mr. X. Look at your raccoon magazine. Look. Your leaf. Throw your leaf. Leaf throwing. Look at that leaf thrower.
Grandfather?
Oji-san.
So, ready to go home?
These fools! Your home is here! And this guy's like, these dumbasses don't even know what's about to hit them. Yeah, okay, that's it. that's all I wanted to show you. Just very silly. If you ever see me playing Monster Hunter in VC over in the terrarium. That's what you got. What you got to look forward to. Oh man. I need to give my voice a break. Oh. We're gonna do this one. I don't remember when the last time it was that I went and raided into this moth. But we're gonna go ahead and raid Jeans. RE lowers a clusterfuck of retcons all the way down. Yeah, that's fair. Basically, don't try and have any sort of continuity, just accept it for what it is when you encounter it. I can do that. Alright. Oh. Shout out. Not /SO. She's currently playing Tomb Raider. She's really cool. She drew her own model. It's dope as heck. I think she rigged it too, which is epic. And I'm just gonna force myself to start the raid because I always like no thoughts head empty. Oh, maybe I can't do that. Brilliant. Maybe I can't do Cheems. Nope. Okay, there it is. Okay, it bloopered, and then it worked. I'm the bet. No, I'll let myself be good, but you know, we've got a lot of other good bugs out there. It's the goodest. Foodest, goodest, goddest. Words are hard. You're trying your best. Oh my god, the raid is going by so quickly. Obligatory Discord. Obligatory socials. Discord has a lot of cool new stuff now, and we'll be back again soon. Thursday. Yeah, okay. We'll be back Thursday.